You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
They confuse us with so much life. even thinking that we would realize. And if we criticize, we could be ostracized. We don't know who to trust. That's why I say, Lord, please listen to this prayer that comes from before. Please send us another Moses again. Oh, we just can't go this way. Please deliver us today. Time to make them oppress us stay. So the children could see their way. Make them get on their knees and pray. Then I'll be up to judgment day. Just can't make it this way. Please deliver us today. Be like the Israelites did. Please send us another Moses again. Lord, we just can't make it this way. Yes, deliver us today. Oh, we just can't go this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Please listen to what I say. Yes, hurry up with judgment day. We just can't make it this way. No, we just can't make it this way. Must we get old and gray? And the children can't see their way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. Oh, we just can't make it this way. We like the Israelites living there. Please send us another Jesus again. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, Lord, we just can't go this way. Lord, we just can't make it this way. No, 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 we just can't go this way.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home. cover my feet, so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth. That the wrong thing. Oh Lord. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, cover, cover. Cover me. Cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and 7. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And if you trying to figure out who, what, when, why, and how are the DAT Triplets, it's no other than Diana is the D, Anselm is the A, and of course the T is Tommy. So there you have it, the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we welcome each and every one. Doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear a mauve t-shirt, a pink t-shirt, a green t-shirt, a red t-shirt, a green, yellow, pink, mauve, orange. You know, you mix yellow and orange together, that color, whatever that color is. You mix green and white, whatever that color is. You're all welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We also welcome all those who are from Saturninians, Mazaranians, Venerians, any planet you're from. You're welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And let me say welcome to no other than the Commissioner of Newark, Thomas E. Marshall Nisbet. Tommy, how are you?
Good, thank you, and good evening. How are you feeling?
All right. As soon as do that, Tommy internet gone, boy. Let me say welcome to our next young lady here. I wonder if I should let this young lady introduce herself or not, boy. Yeah. Anyway, let this young lady introduce herself. Go ahead, Miss Lady. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, villagers. How are you doing? How are you doing? The storm is back. We'll get into it a little bit as to why my absence on the program. But it's glad I was following, but it was glad to be here. I won't be here the whole night, but I'm here, slowly coming back. How's everybody doing? You want me to tell them now, or you want to do your formalities?
Yeah, let me do the formalities, and then you go delve into what you have to tell them. And go wait for Tommy to come back.
All right.
You know,
go ahead.
When Tommy come in. All right. So let me see. Okay, let me see something here. All right, let me see. All right, let's get into the chat. Right. Let's get into the chat here. All right, here comes Tommy. Tommy's back. Thomas.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. As soon as you say a word, boy, the PDP hijack the internet.
Oh boy.
If that was Diana, she would have said the PNM.
Diana, how are you?
I'm good. When Anselm does his formalities, I will address.
Oh, I hear you. But I need Pastor Benz to cover me while he fix it.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Correct is right, Tommy. We need Pastor Baines to cover us while we fix the whole thing. Eh? You fix it, right? Yeah, boy. Oh God. Lord have His mercy. Today was a kind of tough day for me too. We go get into that.
Rennie Mohammed starting stuff already.
Yeah, but I mean, the players that have see you for about 3 weeks. You know what I mean? They miss you, man. They I don't know, man. Their eyes, they ain't want to look at me and Tommy. They don't have time to look at me and Tommy.
Yeah, we a little too hard for them.
Yeah, we kind of hard on the eyes. You know what I mean? They want to look at DB,
softness.
Man, Diana Ben Skin. Anyway, let me say a pleasant good night. Of course, first in the village was no other than Mr. Keisha Clement. Mrs. Takesha Clement. Let me get that correct. Mrs. Takesha Clement. I'm going to claim my words. Mrs. Takesha Clement. Hey, Takesha, what is the background of Takesha? What is the background of that name? That's a very sophisticated kind of name, I like to know what is the background of that name. Like, for example, Tommy and Diana, my name is Anselm. Saint Anselm was a great philosopher. And I think I'll fall in line with that kind of philosopher, kind of, a person. And there's also St. Anselm's College. I have to go up. I think they're in Massachusetts. I have to go up there and speak to the people to see if I don't have any shares in that college because they're using my name. I don't know. I'm something must have happened in the past, and they just didn't inform me. When things happen and people come under us, they take everything from us. You know what I mean? And then they
Mhm.
call it their own. So I have to make some foray up there to kind of clarify the situation, so to speak. So
I hear
Takesha
you.
said,
Clear the air.
yeah, Ansem, good night. Yeah, with the emojis. Thank you, Takesha. She also said, Diana the Storm, good night. Diana get one set of emojis too. Tommy, good night. Tommy, she fixed you up too very well.
Good night,
And
Takesha.
Takesha
Kish
says,
Kish.
Nadia, Lana, Rose, Carice, Mauricia, Miss Cuva, Joan, Capiza. Yeah, full 100. She also said Albert, Vonnie, Ellis, Raj, all. Hey, I see Ulrich in early today, boy. Ulrich, like he stopped business early today, but he inside early tonight, huh?
Yeah, you see the new business he started?
Nah, I didn't see that. Eh?
Yeah, I sent it to you between you and I.
Oh,
It's
okay. I
a,
don't
it's
look
a
at it. I don't-
transportation business here. Look and see.
what? What the hell is this? But wait now, boy. That fella, we gotta call Ulrich and decide to this all these businesses he's starting. Let me see. Is this it here? Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. Oh God. All right. Thank you. I didn't see this
Or,
one at
or require to sponsor WZYE, you know.
yeah. We gotta all these type of free thing again. You know what I mean? We gotta start to
Mm.
yeah. We go check up that one just now. Yeah, so Takesha says Albert, Vonnie, Ellis, Rajvi, Ulrich, Kylie, Troy, Chris, Tropics, Daryl, Rennie, everybody. Takesha says only love in the village, no room for hate or negativity. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crime situation is really ridiculous. I sick and fed up. Only shooting in Port of Spain. Police not doing to stop it. People and kids free to walk the streets. Right? Nadia was next one in. Nadia, welcome. Good night. And our partner
Night,
Rennie
Nadia.
Mohammed was in. Rennie was in early tonight, but yeah, Nadia said good night. Anselm, good night. Tommy, good night.
Good night, Nad.
Rennie says good evening, my good friends Nadia. Dana Benskin say good night. All right. Nadia send wishes to everybody. Takesha says rest in peace to security guards and yesterday shooting at the parents of those boys who died as a result of robbery. Ask God to have mercy on their souls.
Mm.
Takesha, these the young brothers who won the robbery in La Romaine. Their father is a taxi driver from Vice to Superior. And it's very shame. His friend is carry you and they don't bring you back. I used to tell my son all the time that, my son and my daughter, the friends carry you, but they don't bring you back. Yeah, they say the city hot, boy. Things are run red. Ulrich, good night. Good night to you, Ulrich. Ulrich inside. Albert Montano inside. The man from Mississippi, boy. He says, good evening, Ansem and Diana and Tommy. Good night to you. Our
Night, good
resident
night, Albert.
historian. Our resident
But
historian in the village.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
Sipiano. I think it's Saga.
Oh, it's Saga? Oh, okay, Mr. Saga. Okay. My
And
bad. My
I'm
bad.
trying to know what he's doing.
My bad. Takesha said cover my family. And I, Lord, while you fix it, boy. Yeah, boy. And you know, yeah. Um Pastor Baines, yeah, but you had to sing that song. Remember. Anderson Wilson says, good night, my friends. Anita is at work. Anderson, I don't understand this, you know. I thought Anita is not Anita his wife? Eh? What's his wife name again?
Diana?
Is
No,
it
it's not Diana, man.
No, no,
Akira?
no.
Akira. Oh, wait up. Anderson selling out your own self, boy. The man say, good night, my friend Anita is at work. I got, let me
Maybe that's
screenshot.
maybe that's a second name, Akira and Anita.
Oh, okay. Let me screenshot that and send that for Akira. Anderson, you see all of us get yourself in all your own trouble. Anderson says, good night, my friend Anita is at work. What does he mean by that?
Not
Eh?
getting involved. I'm not getting involved.
Okay, all right.
No, he said good night, my friends. Anita is at work.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's what he said. I don't understand.
Well, she's at work.
But it's the first time I hear about Anita. Didn't Blue Boy sing a song about Anita?
Mhm.
No, Scrunter.
Oh, Scrunter. Yes, Scrunter. So Anderson getting here Anita's mix up. Anderson, what are you talking about? Scrunter Anita? Oh, Anderson Akira. Oh, God. Anderson, not sorry, yeah, but oh, God. Anderson, I know it's that typo. Don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself. But, you know, ain't kind of far from K, you know. You know, Anderson, just fix it, yeah. Fix it. We go cover you while you fix it. Hey, Ken John, welcome. Oh, God. We go cover you while you fix it. Don't worry yourself. Hey, look, my partner from Chumaka, boy. Curtis Montreal, pleasant welcome to you, my friend. Straight out of Chumaka, Claventel. Right? Capiza, how you going? Inside. Sometimes I just wonder if all Capiza language is always PNM, you know. Like Capiza don't know how to type nothing else. Every time he type a sentence, it's at a PNM in it. I don't know. Like you have a pen that starts with P. Oh, God. Yeah, boy. Warm chick. Yeah. Thank you, Kenjon. Thank you. We trying our best to be safe as possible. Highly, you're inside, man. What tax? You're inside. Diana.
Yeah.
Rennie said, Diana. Watch how you looking sassy wassy. Oh, God. Diana, right? I'm telling you, Mama.
When he's got the hearts for Diana.
Oh, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I mean, the man just.
Ain't that the one that want to wear leather suit and whip chains? I
Oh
ain't into that.
boy, M&M's.
Yeah. Hey, look, Rennie just write that poem there. Listen to this. WZYE, where everyone is friends and family, no foe, no enemy. When in doubt or frenzy, place to be is WZYE. You could be UNC, PNM, or PDP. Feel welcome to WZYE. You know what, Rennie? I go take that and make it into a drop. I like that too bad. Let me repeat that.
Yeah.
WZYE, where everyone is friends and family, no foe, no enemy. When in doubt or frenzy, place to be is WZYE. You could be UNC, PNM, or PDP. Feel welcome to WZYE. Well, we could say UNC, PNM, PEP, or PDP, or Aricho Diana Party in the NTA.
Oh, Lord.
NTA.
No, that I'm rhyming.
Yeah, that right. Diana, we gotta leave out your party, girl.
You could put in NTA and
Yeah.
say
You can start.
WZYE is the way.
Uh-uh.
Where we putting that one?
It's a good thing he's a poet.
Yeah,
Where we
you
putting
go.
that one, Diana? What
You
say?
can't.
You fix that.
You can also include NTA. WZYE is the way.
Where you putting that?
At the
Anywhere
end.
you can find
At
it.
the end.
Okay, all right. Let me screenshot that. I'll go screenshot that. Let me
PDP, PEP, NTA. Feel welcome to WZYE.
I
That's
like
the
that
way.
too bad. Yeah, I like that too
That
bad. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Rennie Mohammed, go to the head of the class. I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that. I'm gonna give you, a round of applause for that. Yeah, man, you deserve this. I don't know if you ever get a round of applause in the village, yeah, but you know it's always our first time for everything. Take this, Rennie. Take that, man. Take that. Take that and cool it. Yeah, you know, I mean, I really like what Rennie said there because we trying to create a place where we could all exist peacefully and respectfully and have differences of opinions. You understand? It don't have to be anti this party or pro that party. We could have differences of opinion, right? But we could have very, very tough disagreements, but we do it respectfully and we continue to support whichever party you want to support. You know, that's how it does go. All right.
Okay.
Police,
You want me to?
hold on. Police by one street in Lavantil and shots fired on the next street. These fellas don't care about nobody. Lord, please put a hand. Yeah. Takesha says, I thought Hines will address the public on the situation, what happened yesterday. Don't worry, it coming. You might address them next week. But it coming. Curry's good night to you. Curry said good night, Diana, Anselm, and Tommy. Curry said
good
Tommy.
night, Curry. Good night, Curry. Good night,
Yeah,
Curry. That she got it right.
you got it right.
Good night.
Good night, Curry.
You're sending good night to Anderson. But Anderson didn't respond to that yet, boy. How come? Good night. Oh, Top Dog, welcome. Good night, everyone. Locked on from Japan, boy. Hope everyone doing what? Japan, boy.
Yeah.
What, boy? Wang tong bung kong kong bung go.
Hey, careful. You might be saying something disrespectful.
Oh, God. Yeah. Nah, I say none disrespectful, man. I just say to Keisha, you see how the lady thief 12 bottles of alcohol in Price Smart and they hold her? Oh, God. Is alcohol she thief?
But why alcohol? She wanna
I don't
wanna
know.
get drunk and forget your troubles.
I don't know. Which person is this now? Mr. Ugly Man Nuts Cake. Who's that now?
I know, maybe a new listener.
Okay, so all right. So Curry said top dog name is Camilla. This woman stole my picture. Also goes by the name Miami Jesus. Miami Jesus, you again, boy? Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, they expose you so quick, boy. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jesus is a woman.
Well, I guess based on what Carice is saying is Mr. Ugly Man Nuts Cake and is Miami Jesus. And Top Dog is Miami Jesus. So God, why people just want to go through them kind of thing, boy? Seriously. Why you doesn't want to why you doesn't ever want to go through them kind of thing, boy, and trying to, disguise yourself and defame people and all kind of thing like that?
And deceive the public.
Yeah, what do you actually get out of that? I'm just trying to find out. What good is that? What good does that do for your own psyche and your heart, boy? How do you sleep at night when you do them kind of thing? Eh? When you try to defame people's character. How do you sleep at night? How do you rest? And what about if you have kids, boy? What if somebody do your kids the same thing you doing to other people? What about if you have a wife? Eh? And somebody decide to do your wife the same type of thing you doing to other people? What about those things, boy? How do you feel about that? You know, it's just interesting, boy. How people just take liberty just to do things just like that, you know, and don't understand, you know, how other people. I mean, it's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. If you and
Mm-hmm.
somebody has some beef, well, they work it out now, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's sadder, boy. It's sadder. Today, I went to the funeral of a friend of mine. He was on the track team with me. He was on scholarship with me. Same team. We ran on the same team, you know, and he passed away a few days ago.
My condolences.
And listening to what everybody said about him, you know, he came just like me. He came from Jamaica. He came from a very poor community.
Mm.
Came to the United States. He had a scholarship to Seton University. You know, he did some things with himself. You know, he became captain of the track team. He was an underdog. The coach really didn't want him. The coach wanted another athlete, and he only took him because of the other athlete. The same with me. The coach didn't want me, but he took me because of my roommate. My roommate he wanted, and he had to take me. And the same thing with this guy. And the same thing he ended up as captain of the track team. And I just
Mm.
just asked myself, you know, why people does so listen to this, right? Mr. Uglyman Nutscake, right? If you continue with that rhetoric, you
Lock.
know what's going to happen, right? I'm just telling you. All right. We don't tolerate that in the village. We're not tolerating that. We're not tolerating that. Okay. I'm telling you right now. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
fix it. Fix it. Fix it. Okay. Yeah, but and you know it was kind of sad, but that's just part of life. But Diana, you go ahead and say what you have to say.
Okay. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me put your,
Okay.
I want put your solo?
Yeah, she wants. All
Yep.
right.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Go ahead.
Okay, villagers. My absence from the program, I will attempt to explain. If you look at my mouth, it is crooked. And if I smile, I can't put a full smile. No, when I was in Tobago, the symptoms started appearing. At first, I thought I was experiencing a stroke, and a doctor paid a house visit to the guest house where I was staying. Prominent Tobagonian doctor, and initially his tests and ascertained and confirmed that it was not a stroke, which put my mind at ease. But instead, is something called Bell's palsy. BELS. I'll put it in the chat. BELLSPALSY. Until having been stricken with it, I never really heard about it. But I'll tell you the symptoms I was experiencing before the full blown attack. My right eye was constantly twitching. So I, in my culture, my belief, I thought I was going to see somebody I hadn't seen in a long time, and it continued to twitch, twitch, twitch. I was given a fresh picked coconut from the tree, and from the shell, I drank it. I thought also too that I may have been having an allergic reaction to the coconut or something, because sometimes I do get allergic reactions to stuff in the tropics. My lip began to swell. It felt like when you go to the dentist, and I wasn't having any headache or blurred vision, and the symptoms continued to persist until the doctor came and ascertained that it was Bell's palsy. Said terrible pain. It affected mostly the right side of my face. And Anselm saw me at my worst. I think Tommy also too. And I had a lot of pain still under my ear. And in trying to talk against a muscle that's constricted and not supposed to be this way, eventually ends up in pain for me. And bright lights are bothering my eyes too. I also was ushered to go. I went to see my primary care doctor. Upon returning to the United States, I went straight to the emergency room, and they just triaged me as a stroke suspect to rule out a stroke, and it was not a stroke. I also saw my primary care doctor, who ushered me to go to the eye doctor because there's an exam they can look behind your eye and see if there's markers for stroke. Nothing. They also, they did all sorts of tests on me. So this Bell's palsy, it's physical, crippling. It's crippling. I couldn't feed myself. I had to use a spoon. I couldn't drink liquids, a teaspoon to put food down my throat. I couldn't chew anything. It was rough. I sure lost about a good 12 pounds, which the scale indicated the other day at the doctor. I still haven't, I can't chew anything hard. So it's mashed potato, and I have some antiviral meds and steroids that was prescribed for me. So here you are. The storm was, she was battling a storm waged against her that she was afraid of. I was praying to God that it was not a stroke. And my doctor says I'm on the mend. I'm doing good. For someone who had Bell's palsy, I'm coming up, but I'm disciplined. I'm doing all the exercises. I'm taking the medication. And one thing that is absolutely necessary for Bell's palsy patients is rest in order for the nerve to regenerate. So I can't do things long, like I can't go to the gym for long. I don't go anymore. I can't be on the program long, talking long. And whenever sleep hits me, I must go lay down for the nerve to regenerate. So your sister is back. I'm on the mend. Eventually I'll be, 100%. It is a condition that takes 2 to 6 months to fully recover. 2 to 6 months, sometimes a year, depending on the severity and if you do the exercises. But I can't smile. I still have heaviness on this side here and pain, and I talk too much under the ear. So there you go. Uh, I'm doing fine with those wax. I'm okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, Diana, we
Thank
want to say
you.
thank you very much, and we know, um,
Mhm.
we don't know your pain, but we know we sympathize with what you're going through, and
Thank you.
we wish you all the best. And I can see that things have gotten much better.
Yeah, when you saw me last, you remember the first time I
Yeah,
called you?
things have improved tremendously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Diana,
Yes, Tommy.
we pray for your quick recovery. We know you'll be better. It's only a
Mm,
matter of time, and time
yeah.
flies anyway. So
Yeah, and you
you
have
you'll be.
to. Yeah, what I realized with this disease, if you succumb, like I was, succumbing to the inability to drink
mm,
from a glass, right? Till someone told me, a cousin of mine told me, drink normal and forget. Just I was spilling all on me like a baby. So my cousin put a bib for me, and he would clean up like a brother. He said, just drink the thing, like don't even study. So I started using the cups and the glasses, instead of babying myself with the spoon, and I could do a straw sometimes. It
mm,
did not affect my cognitive. It doesn't affect your brain, but it affects your motor skills in your mouth, and it's a very pain. It has some pain that comes alongside here, But and what was concerning to me, I have hearing loss in my left ear, so I didn't want the right ear to be compromised in any way. And this came out of the blue. I'm very cautious and paying attention to my hearing in my right ear because I don't want anything affecting it. So it's I, it's been rough. It's been rough on me. Yeah.
Like Schwarzenegger, you'll be back.
Thanks. So there you go, people. The storm's absence from the program uh, has been outlined for you. Okay.
Well, all we can say down there is that this too will pass, and I can
Una
see,
posición que hay de
I
todas
already
maneras
see,
de...
I already see the improvement already. So I mean, things are going, not going downhill but going uphill on
Mhm.
the improvement. So
Yeah.
that's all we could ask for. You
Yeah.
know,
Thank you. Thank you guys for checking in on me, and you know,
yeah,
thank you. So
yeah. We have
I,
family,
I, I
one family.
huh?
There's one family.
Yeah, thank you. And this came out of the blue. I was like, where did this come? They say it could be viral or bacterial. I'm like, I was drinking coconut water and minding my business. And then, wow,
Well, you
yeah,
see, you never know. You never know.
yeah, boy. And you know what was most frightening? If it were a stroke, I was not in this country.
Oh
Wow.
wow. Mm-hmm.
Usually,
Wow.
I was so afraid I would have had to up my flight and get back to the United States to get proper care.
Hmm. Hmm.
In all things, give thanks to the Most High God.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Things kind of worked out.
Mhm.
And
They
yeah,
and they, well,
no good.
they're saying that it could. My doctor said it could come back. I'm like, "Ugh." So I, I don't want this coming back. I rebuke this. Wherever it go, just go. So don't come back here.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah. So what I mean, I don't like people coming in the chat and causing dissension. So I took care.
Just block. Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
wait.
I took care.
What's his name?
No, I took care of it. I took care of it.
Okay, good.
I took care of it. You know what I mean? It make no sense. We have
Yeah,
people coming
yeah.
to cause
This
dissension in the chat.
uneasiness.
We don't have no interest in that. Let me keep we close knit family together.
Mm-hmm.
And let me continue. Anybody who think that they like what we do at WZYE 95.9 FM, of course, all on sundries are welcome. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So what we have to do? We had to deal with some critical issues tonight, and it is sad what happened with that shooting at Pennywise or that robbery at Pennywise.
Mm.
It's kind of sad, but oh boy, you know, it's never a dull moment. And
Yeah, it's constantly, and it's ramping up, and well, it's not mom Stormy. No, Kylie, Stormy ain't giving no mums. Um,
Hmm.
all this, what is the commissioner of police saying?
well, I mean, I don't know what he's saying, but this is the thing, right? This is my thing. Where them guys getting this kind of ammunition from?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they getting these type of ammunition from? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Where they getting it from?
And law-abiding people can't even get a little force, 45 or something, to protect themselves. Yep.
Mm. Guns from Pennywise. Guns used in Pennywise robbery. Imagine that.
They're coming in them barrels and shipments and boxes that people are paid to look the other way.
So let me ask a question, right? Let's say you take some of the criminals off the street.
Hmm.
What happened to the guns on them? So like, we get rid of those people, right, who needs to be extinguished, right? Those who are creating horror pain for people and they catch them in the act and they are extinguished, fine. But what about the root problem? The root problem. We dealing with the bandit on a saw. What about the root problem? When are we going to deal with that problem? When? I mean, I don't know. And Tommy, when are we going to deal with that problem, Tommy? What it is? What it is? The national security apparatus. What are they missing in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, there's a cause and there's an effect. You agree?
Correct.
We have to identify what the cause is.
We don't think we already know that, Tommy?
Well, we have to deal with that to stem the tide of violence and crime.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Nadia.
Yeah, Judy, welcome. I mean, yeah, but so Hailey says it's coming through the airport. So who they getting the guns from? I mean, and are people on the port or in the airport allowing the guns on them to get through?
Somebody's being paid to look the other way. Or
Daniel, you just took the words out my mouth.
or they coming in on pirogues from Venezuela.
All of that.
All of that.
Yeah, all sources. All the sources. They everybody knows what the sources are. If they know, then they should be able to resolve it.
But you see, in Trinidad, what the things we are trying to take care of is we worried about Watson Duke versus Folly, right? We worry about who honing who, right? We worrying about which one get convicted for the car and which one didn't get convicted for his car. You understand? And them is small thing in Trinidad and Tobago. Small thing. The big thing is, right, how are we going to take care of all the guns coming in the country? Because the guns have to do with crime. Right?
Do we really want to take care of that?
I think we want to.
If we want to, we will.
I think we want to, but I don't see
who wants to and who doesn't want to. Who is in charge? Who's supposed to take care of it? Who's doing their job? Who's not doing their job? These are some of the issues.
And it's on top of the hour.
Yeah. So we're gonna go for a quick station identification, but the question is this: is that there are so many distractions in Trinidad and Tobago, and the real issues, right, go to the back burner. What about the health system in Trinidad and Tobago? You hear Diana says that, listen, I was hoping, and it wasn't that. Because I worry about the healthcare system.
I would have I would have gone to Barbados instead.
Yeah. Why are we taking $100 million to set up a special purpose company? Right? To go and fix roads all over the country. Yeah, the roads need fixing. But we have to take $100 million to go and do that? Why? Why? But let's go for a quick station identification. When we come back, we want to delve into if Watson Duke have checkmated himself as a politician in the Trinidad and Tobago political landscape. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we like to move on with Calypso Spectacular. And the next performer coming up on stage, this man last year had a song about hooting in the dirty and the hole in the dirty. 1995, the amount of bills they passing in Parliament, he said they only sitting. Look, if you have tight tongue, be careful what you say. The name of the song, Sitting in Parliament. The singer, Macroft. Bring him on. Oh, deal with them politicians. For too damn long, my people silent. Politicians sit down and doing nothing. Brother, as they win election, that's it. They gone in the house to sit. So brother man, I getting harassed. I better put them back and sit in jokers. Why we can't get no betterment? Man, it's too much of sitting in parliament. Why you think the country hard like Banga? They're sitting in parliament. You jail government with the same pressure. They're sitting in parliament. So some say it's just you bring back massa. You're sitting in parliament because you put African, same shit. You put Indian, same shit. You put Syrian, same shit. They're sitting on this, they're sitting on that. They're sitting in parliament, talking rat tat 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 tat. They're sitting in parliament. Mr. President, we ain't got to do nothing by accident. No, there's too much of sitting in parliament. To get material for this calypso, I went to parliament to get my info. For I had to get good information about all who's sitting for the station. They tell me Humphrey's the man for the poor, so Bjorn and Hawkins seeing about law. Robbie and Pam them for Tobago, Rowley seeing about farmers cocoa, Ramesh for rapists and murderers, Pam them down in Central for great farmers. Big man like Patrick with PhD, what they doing? Sitting in parliament. And he happen they sitting opposite. What you doing? Sitting in parliament. Between them they making poor people pay. Sitting in parliament. And one is African, same shit. And one is Indian, same shit. You must understand, same shit. They're sitting on this, they're sitting on that. They're sitting in parliament, talking rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. They're sitting in parliament. Mr. President.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. I mean, the man said they're sitting in parliament, eh? Sitting.
They know what they're doing.
The fella said they're sitting in parliament.
You know, just looking back at the healthcare situation that Diana brought up, and so many other issues. You know, all the issues in Trinidad are intertwined, you know. When you really think about it, healthcare, infrastructure, education, national security, and social programs. They're all intertwined. I mean, these are not the only issues, but in my mind, these are some of the main issues that needs to be addressed, and they're all intertwined when you really think about it.
And also too, right, Tommy? Let me come back. Also too, after the diagnosis by the doctor, it was medication. No, I was praying and hoping they had the medication, but luckily they did. And the funds for the medication, luckily I have it. And I said to myself, I wonder if this had happened to a person with lesser means than myself and had to pay this $194 for 2 medicine, eh? 194 TT, right? All this I was thinking, I was like, wow. And I had to pay the doctor for a house visit because there's no 24/7 clinic. No 24/7 clinic. And because the man was known by the owners of the guest house, they're worshiping the same church. He, obliged them and he came. But I, if it were on the serious scale, what would have happened to me? I was going into Scarborough and hope that they have something to CAT scan my head. And if they don't, then they'd have to take me to Port of Spain and hope that I ain't languish in there. No 24-hour clinic. No, you gotta go to that hospital and sit down and wait. That ain't good.
Nope.
Not good at all.
And you see, when we are trying to bring certain issues to the table, that I say he is a rabble rouser, right? Or you're not patriotic, or you're against the government, or there's always something, What I mean, if you are a critical thinker and you try to think critically to improve the country, somehow you're against somebody. Like, for example, let's look at an example, right? We look at what happened with David Lee, and we look at what happened with Faris Alwari. So they cleared Faris Alwari, right? And of course, everybody's going to say it's a PNM person that cleared him. Whatever it is, well, the DPP go be a PNM now. You understand? Because the DPP, they had to send the case to the DPP, and the DPP say, well, boy, like the evidence ain't good enough. Right? All you go back and all you get more evidence, and if all you have it, and I could charge him for something, I go charge him. And the same exact thing that happened with David Lee. Right? And
he'll get away with that alleged transaction.
I mean, that might take another 20 years.
Justice delayed.
Yeah. What's it say? Justice delayed is justice denied? Something
That's
like
correct.
that.
That's correct.
Justice delayed is justice denied. So, but you as a defender of the party, the UNC, you tried to make excuses for David Lee. I never made any excuse for Marlene McDonald. Never. And Marlene, I could say Marlene McDonald was my friend. Right? I may not have said anything, right? But I never come and make no excuse for her.
So in a nutshell, enlighten me as to what Mr. Lee was alleged to have done.
Okay, so Diana, that's a good question. Let me bring that up here. That's a very good question. Very, very good question. Let me bring that up here. Hold on, Let me bring that up here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so here it is, right? It says, during the period of March 24th, 2009 and 8th of June 2019 in the island of Trinidad and Tobago, David Lee, a member of parliament, conspired with Hugh Leong Pio to defraud the state of Trinidad and Tobago of the sum of $1,416,000, $292.65 by A, David Lee applying for and obtaining tax exemption in the sum of $1,416,292.65 on the purported purchase by the said David Lee of a Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 wagon motor vehicle. B, David Lee having falsely represented that his purchase of the said Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 wagon motor vehicle was for the use and benefit of said David Lee in the performance of his official duties, when in fact that vehicle was being purchased by Hugh Leong, that look like Poi, excuse me. Yeah, Poi, for his use and benefit. Hugh Leong Poi not being entitled to such exemptions, right? 2. during the period of 24th March 2019 and 24th March, on 24th May 2019, I'm reading from on the screen, so I ain't seen it that well. In the island of Trinidad, being in a public office as a member of parliament falsely and dishonestly applied for and obtained tax exemption in the amount of the same $1.4 million for the purported purchase by the said David Lee of a Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 wagon motor vehicle for the use and benefit in the performance of official duty, knowing that the vehicle was being purchased by Hugh Leong Pai and knowing that the said Hugh Leong Pai and it goes on, right? So that is what he was charged for. Simple. So, I mean, if this is untrue, I mean, all he has to do is to go on Claire's name. And I felt that, me personally, I felt that Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa should have told him, David, go clear your name and come back. Right? Because here it is. Here it is. Let's get rid of that. So
he would have been forced to resign his position, and the seat would have become available and vacant for a by-election. Is that what the process?
Well, Tommy, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm not sure. I mean, he was the chief whip. I was told that he is not a senator, so Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa cannot remove him because he's an MP. You really cannot. I don't know how you could remove an MP. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can help.
Let me ask you something. When Jack was an MP for Shogunas, what was that, West or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Did he not have what happened? He was fired. Or what happened? I don't know exactly what happened.
Oh, Tommy, as you say that, let me see if this will clarify it. I don't know, but let me see if this will clarify it. Here we go. Hold on, hold on.
On Jack.
Rising sun. And to Mr. Warner, I say, clear your name and come back home. But whilst you have not cleared your name, you cannot come back home. My government.
Kamala on Gerard.
Sure. But, I've always taken a particular kind of approach when I was in government and outside. I continue to take that approach. And it was clear your name and come back. This is what I'd said to former ministers. So this is not unusual.
She was on.
So the question is, how come? And Tommy, that's a good question you raised there. I really don't know. I was wondering if it has something to do with FIFA. That I wonder if it had something to do with FIFA. When Jack was charged by FIFA, that Kamala asked him to leave on Clay's name and come back. I don't remember. Somebody in the chat can help us with that.
But did he not resign his position and made the seat available and ran independently and regain his seat?
Yes. I think you're absolutely right.
If my memory serves right.
Yeah, I think, let me see. Jack Warner regains seats. Jack Warner regains seat. Let me see. Okay, all right, here it is. I mean, this is from the Jack Warner wins by-election to regain seat. Former National Security Minister Austin Jack Warner has been returned to the Trinidad Parliament after winning the Shogunas by-election. Warner, the interim leader of the newly formed Independent Liberal Party, defeated 4 other candidates, including Khadija Amin, the candidate of the ruling coalition People's Partnership government. It talks about the results. Warner, who was at the heart of recent football corruption scandal, resigned after the Prime Minister expressed shock at the findings of a probe into the allegation. Right? So he resigned with respect to FIFA. And I guess when he resigned as a minister, and I guess he resigned his position as
As an MP.
an MP. You know, so
Yeah,
when he was as an MP, then they had to call a by-election. And
Mm.
he ran again in the by-election under the ILP and he won. You know, so Judy's saying it was because of FIFA,
Mm.
right? So, I mean, the precedent was already set. You know,
Anselm, you have Dr. Mohammed coming in, Shane Mohammed, right? So he'll be coming in later. I'm going to take my leave now, feeling a little off, right?
okay. All
So
right,
I'll
all
see
right.
you guys on Thursday, okay?
Okay,
take care
no
of
problem.
yourself, Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a little tired, that's all. Tired. The medication too. Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
Good night, people.
Yeah.
Good
All
night,
right.
Diana.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. And Tommy, the
Yes,
other
sir.
band burner that we have is Watson Duke.
Well, that is the hottest topic right now when we really think about it.
Mhm.
You know, but something else was on my mind when you said justice delayed is justice denied. There's a matter that Duke has to answer that has been delayed that probably should have been brought to the front and the fore and resolved already so he doesn't have anything hanging over him, um, which is another case of justice delayed.
Which one is that?
I think he has to answer some alleged um, abuse of some female or something.
Well,
I don't want to say.
I think you're innocent until proven guilty. You know, no?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. So they should give him a chance to clear himself and
You-
have the not have that hanging over his head.
Yeah, but he ran
Because
in the election with that hanging over his head, and he won. You know,
yeah,
but there was no
I know.
precedent. There was no precedent for them saying, you know, the PDP saying, Mr. Duke, go and clear your name, and once
He
they
is
clear,
he's the boss of this PDP. Who's gonna say what?
well, I mean, they have a constitution, right?
Yeah, but he has the last word from what I can see, and I realize even with the constitution concerning what happened in Tobago recently, it looks like he he's 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 the voice of the PDP.
Mhm.
Think about it.
No, he is the voice of the PDP, and
Was there
go ahead.
because we can realize that even if a consensus was taken and he was told do nothing about the three persons that he fired, he did what he wanted to do anyways.
Mhm.
Am I right or wrong?
Say that again, Tommy. He did what?
He did what he wanted to do anyways because when we heard what the chairman of the party said last week, and we think about what the actions were that he took. Obviously, the chairman, as cool and level-headed as he was, he couldn't sway him to do what he thought may have been the best thing to do,
Mhm.
which
Well,
was
go ahead.
not overreact, but try to work things out because we see clearly the chairman wanted an amicable resolution to the issue.
Mhm. Well, I think that Watson Duke have dug himself into a hole, and he had to stop digging.
Years of independence, independent thought, a gala event. And right on the heels of that, we have one of the biggest mutiny taking place. And
The guy actually says it's a mutiny. You know?
But he's the one who started it and fueled the fire or so-called mutiny as he calls it. It's all his making and his doing. He's self-destructing. That's what he's doing.
So here's what a mutiny is, right? An open rebellion against the proper authorities, especially by soldiers or sailors against their officers. A mutiny by those by those manning the weapons could trigger a global war. Refuse to obey the orders of a person in authority. What mutiny is he talking about?
He's the one who's triggering the mutiny because he gave the authority to Fali, but he refuses to respect his position. It obviously seems that way to most of us here.
But not only that, Tommy. Did anybody fire him?
No.
He
resigned.
He fired 3 deputy political leaders of the PDP, right?
And then fired himself.
Correct. And you know, Tommy, that makes Tommy think about this, right, Tommy? You as the deputy chief secretary of the THA, fire one of your deputy political leader. You then fire yourself, and your fired deputy political leader replace you who fired yourself. So the man create a whole mutiny against himself.
Yeah, he's self-destructing. It's clear.
Himself got rid of himself.
That's right.
Himself get rid of himself. And you talking about a mutiny. Man, that guy...
That's a loose cannon. That is a loose cannon.
He had to stop digging. He have to stop digging.
That is a loose cannon.
Watson Duke. You know, we just give advice to people. Anyway, let me finish this and I'll go get Watson Duke some advice.
It's done and carried live on TV, at least this Williams channel. It's carried live. One of the most, I would say, ridiculous mutiny that is taking place. And I ask myself, why is this? Why are you trying to take over something you have? Why are you trying to make something ugly that is pretty? Why are you trying to create panic and hysteria in the public domain? What does it?
My goodness.
As you know, from day one, I would have moved the motion to the party and requesting to be chief secretary. I would have in 2019.
Himself needs to ask himself the question: why would he do what he did? Because he's the one who created all the bad blood and all the problems that are existent today. So he has to ask himself these questions, not anybody else.
Tommy, you are correct. But Tommy, here is this. You were the one that submitted him. He's saying, I submitted his name to be chief secretary. Right? You submitted his name. So in the space of 9 months, you decide, you know what? Now, Fali, but you no longer should be the chief secretary.
Boss.
Yeah, you no longer should be my boss. Because you see, he don't know how to separate the political party from the THA. It is 2 separate entities. And he surely doesn't understand the separation. And I don't know, boy, that fella put in a death nail in his political career. Sad to say.
The one who authorized him to run as chief secretary. And even in 2020, when he attempted to bring a motion in an executive meeting asking that I do not run at all in the upcoming January 2021 elections, and he lost the vote. And he said to him, I said, my friend, don't be afraid. You and me have to run, and you will be chief secretary. Even 2 weeks before the 2021 elections, I called him to a meeting and I said, what's your plan? He had no plan. Does he have money? Only 100,000. I said, that can't win elections. I said, where's the billboard, where's the trucks? He said, I have none. I said, okay, use my name. We will have to get it done. I said to him, I said, I will be the one who could stand up and promote you. As you know, I went out and I said, he's better than myself, he's a man I will follow. I mean, that's a normal thing. So I can't understand for the life of me how they're operating as if they have won something. Everything is theirs. I've given it to them. I've not spoken since I've taken office. have left them to speak and to drink wine and to celebrate every single week. They just celebrate just for living and being secretaries. You have nothing to celebrate for, you know.
Would you say this is a hijack of your party?
Well, I would say this is mutiny. I don't think that I hijacked the party because the party is embodied in what King Solomon Jew. Hence the name Spartans come about. They are not Spartans, they are jellyfish.
So what do you call it to mutiny?
Well, you look up the word mutiny and you understand what mutiny means.
But I mean, in your context, what do you mean?
I said mutiny, I will not define it any further than that. What is going to happen from now on is a taking off of the mask. Because beyond this charade of grasping power, there lies serious issue for Tobagonians to consider. One is whether or not the PDP, who have won the elections against the PNL, whether the PDP mandate is real, whether or not people before politics is taking place, or politics before people is taking place. I'm quite concerned of the fact that you have placed upon the shoulders of your executive more responsibility when they have not fulfilled that which they were given. I asked myself, who is the performing secretary among them? Which one is really fulfilling the mandate? How much has healthcare improved?
Oh boy.
Blah, blah, blah.
Tony, you are the assemblyman for Roxborough. You are a deputy chief secretary. And almost every week, you was in Trinidad, going up and down Trinidad, right? With the PDP, trying to rally people to vote for the PDP. Who is not doing what they're supposed to do?
Correct. Not only that.
What? Go ahead.
I said not only that, but he's talking as if somebody is trying to do something to him or that he is not aware of. He had to be. He was on the inside. He was on the inside, and if you were on the inside, obviously, now we know that those 27 persons in New York was not the issue.
Yeah, that was just a band-aid on us. So
smoke screen.
Yeah. Let's continue to listen to this guy. I don't think
how much has housing improved? How much has community development improved? How much has infrastructure improved? And we have not seen anything different. We have voted on the principle of fixing the issues. One would have thought that if the chief secretary wants to fix an issue, he would have said, let's go.
So during your previous statement, you made a point. You said you're not surprised you knew Mr. Augustine. Could you elaborate on that statement? Because you would have selected him to be the chief secretary, but now you state that you're not surprised, you expected such. Could you elaborate on that statement?
Well, let me see. That's for a different day. I have an entire day for that.
Tommy, you hear that?
Plus, the media giving him a chance to make himself into a bigger fool.
The man play a chess game and he get checkmate. He got checkmate. Simple. Plain talk, bad manners. But you know the sad part, Tommy, is that the man ain't finished, you know. He ain't finished, you know. And for all those people who talking about, well, look, Wall Street calling him a transformational leader. Wall Street want to be a transformational leader. Let me go back and tell people, 0 to 2 to 6 to 14 is transformational. Let me repeat that. If somebody miss it, 0 to 2 to 6 to 14 is transformational. All right?
How many months the PDP been in office?
I would say 9 months. We in September, October,
he knows.
December. Yeah, 9 months.
He knows. Duke has to know in 9 months he cannot expect to see the kind of major changes that he's trying to outline that needed to take place already. Mm-hmm. Come on, he's being very disingenuous with some of his statements or most of his statements. I mean, I have no axe to grind or no cocoa in the sun or anything to say this or say that, but I'm just talking about being realistic. You got to realize that he's making himself look really bad or worse as the days go along.
But Tommy, here is the thing, right? You in a hole. They say when you find yourself in a hole, you have to stop digging. Listen to the guy in St. Lucia. Listen to him. This is St. Lucia, no?
Tobago's Progressive Democratic Patriots political leader, Watson Solomon Duke, is in St. Lucia for the weekend to deepen bilateral ties between St. Lucia and Tobago. According to the PDP leader, there continues to be an apparent disparity between the larger and smaller nations of the Caribbean region. He maintains that further collaboration among member states outside of the traditional CARICOM meetings hold opportunities to create a true sense of unity.
There's no big brother, little brother. There's just one Caribbean. Everybody respect each other. You must be able to come Trinidad and fall in. Come to Tobago and fall in, and we mustn't see you as an alien. They must welcome you aboard as their brother, as their sister, as the case may be. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to start those conversations, how we could heal the rift between the big islands, small islands, who have this, who don't have that, who rich, who poor. Heal those rifts, what it would take to do that. And if I could go back home with that, then in my run for Prime Minister, which may happen in the next few months or few years, I would be able to.
Inside of your mouth.
Oh God, Tommy. Oh God.
You can't even get it together in your own house. You trying to control the entire nation.
Tommy, boy, I don't know, boy. The fella think I had a game credit, you know. No, I've given him credit. Seriously. I had a game credit.
To put forward a proposal on the platform, not just to rebuild Trinidad and Tobago's economy and to create a level of equality for all, but how we could rebuild the Caribbean and create equality for all. Without domination, we must rebuild the Caribbean with full participation.
During his 4-day visit, the PDP leader will meet with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the SLHTA, and other key St. Lucian businesses and stakeholders. Duke's visit is, however, marred by news of his recent resignation from the post of Deputy Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. The move comes amid a week-long saga between Duke and Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, which began with Duke criticizing the Assembly in a social media video for abandoning a group of Tobagonians in New York. On Tuesday, Augustine publicly challenged Duke to move a no-confidence motion against him when next the Assembly sits. Some see Duke's resignation as him backing down in the face of this public challenge by the THE head.
We put a government in place in Tobago. As a political leader, I did not take the opportunity to become the head of that executive. I placed someone because I have bigger ideas than just being the head. Yesterday was the 15th of September. And from that seats that we won, I removed myself from the executive, the governing executive, on the grounds of principle. I consider myself to be a revolutionary politician, one who's not boxing, one who's not limited by the ideals of the academics or the status quo. I am uncut. And I said to my team on many occasions that you have to remember the commitment we gave to people on the outside. It's about poor people. It's about bread and butter issues. Unless there's more food on the table, unless there's more money in the kitty, unless there is better health care, better roads, unless people life have appreciated in a marked and significant way, then we would have done nothing for them at the end of the day.
The political leader reveals that the actions of his colleagues are contrary to the people's will, and he can no longer afford to align himself with these practices.
But there must be a marked, significant change for the better, and they have not done that. They are busy giving out contracts to persons who already have. They have given out 160 million TT in contracts to big contractors from Trinidad through sole selection, right? Because they have the ability where they could do that, they did that. I've decided to remove myself because as a political leader of the party, I hold the trust of the people to keep them honest. It's difficult for me to be the Deputy Chief Secretary and keep them honest. It will not keep in sync with the whole responsibility called collective responsibility. All right, so I must separate myself from them. I can now become the official conduit through which people will complain and have their issues addressed. So I expect to address all issues. I expect to have serious changes to reflect the changes that the people need.
Speaking at the Thursday press conference at the PDP head office in Barataria, Duke said he does not want to fire Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, whom he fired earlier this week as PDP deputy political leader. Duke fired all three of the party's deputy leaders. For the DBS News World, Jason Darius reporting.
Wow. And fired himself as assistant chief secretary.
Yeah. The fella put, and let me repeat this, what Wachundik has done is put one foot in his political death nail. One foot is already in there, right? And hopefully he takes that foot out and don't put the other foot in. You know, Vonnie Roberts, welcome.
Yeah, but he's taking it. He's when he takes it out of there, he puts it in his mouth.
So Zayed says Duke is doing the right thing. What is the right thing, Zayed? Zayed, what's the right thing? Enlighten us. What is the right thing? Vonnie Roberts says Duke talked himself out of Tobago politics. Full 100. Zayed says Duke wants Trinidad election. You want Trinidad election with that type of behavior? Who go trust you? Who go trust you? Okay. All right. Vonnie says something was never an issue. Duke thought he would have gotten lots of Tobago support. No, you're not getting a lot of Tobago support. Lana, welcome. Right? But Capiza say you want a political scientist like Julia Davy.
That's a good one. I like that one, Capiza.
Yeah. That's a good one. Daryl super sad, welcome. Yeah. Welcome. So here is Fali answering Duke, right? I tell all you, Duke is in big trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble. This is Fali.
It has been golden. I think was absolutely necessary to ensure that the business of governing Tobago did not get muddied with all of the back and forth. And I did not think that the back and forth was necessary, given some of what we're hearing in this space on funding. Well, all of what we're hearing in this space is really unfounded. Just to make some things clear, number one, I have not been to the EBC, certainly not as yet. I have not had any visits with the EBC or meetings with the EBC, either in person or by proxy, and I need to make that clear. Secondly, I wish to use this platform to categorically denounce and deny some extremely wild allegations that I have seen made by the now former Deputy Chief Secretary with regard to collecting bribes or collecting monies elsewhere. Let me indicate that I have already been in consultations with my lawyers, inclusive of a King's Counsel. Yes, we no longer treat King's Counsellors, inclusive of a King's Counsel, and I will intend to pursue legal action that will treat with that matter, which means that I will not be wasting precious time to debate these falsehoods in public space.
So, Tommy Boy?
Yeah, be covering his back.
Covering
his behind. He's right.
You had to prove them allegations now.
Yep, and you can't defame a man like that.
Yeah. I mean, but why don't stop digging the hole, man? Stop digging. You're digging the hole deeper. Let's continue to listen.
Which I treat as being golden. I think was absolutely necessary to ensure that the business of governing Tobago did not get muddied with all of the back and forth. And I did not think that the back and forth was necessary, given some of what we're hearing in this space unfounded. Well, all of what we're hearing in this space is really unfounded. Just to make some things clear, number one, I have not been to the EBC, certainly not as yet, but I have not had any visits with the EBC or meetings with the EBC, either in person or by proxy, and I need to make that clear. Secondly, I wish to use this platform to categorically denounce and deny some extremely wild allegations that I have seen made by the now former Deputy Chief Secretary with regard to collecting bribes or collecting monies elsewhere. Let me indicate that I have already been in consultations with my lawyers, inclusive of a King's Counsel. Yes, we no longer treat King's Counsellors, inclusive of a King's Counsel, and I intend to pursue legal action that will treat with that matter.
Oh boy. I don't know, but yeah. Tell me, was it called for? Yeah.
Anselm, the PDP is gonna die a slow death, you know.
I agree with you.
And in my opinion, Fali and all his who support him need to group themselves together and register a party.
I think that's what's gonna happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's gonna happen, and this is one they went in to vote, and Duke was all by himself.
Wild allegations he's making, huh?
The fella overestimated his power. He has power over the PDP. He doesn't have power over the THA. And he tried something and it backfired on him.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Plain talk, bad manners. Yep. Albert Montano said what's going on in Tobago is similar to 1986 NAV victory, the PP victory in 2010. Right? So he's the mashup man. Mashup. You understand? When it can't go my way, I go mash it up. You know, that's simply what it is, man. Simply what it is.
Yet he's in St. Lucia.
Go ahead.
Yet he's in St. Lucia, acting as though he represents the people of Tobago still. And
let me tell people something. You all have to understand, right? And think about this, right?
That's a win.
Hold on, let me get this thing. What people have to understand is that Watson Duke, as the Deputy Chief Secretary, had a large budget exposure to himself to do many things because he was also in charge of the diaspora. He was also in charge of foreign direct investment for Tobago. And those two portfolios are very large portfolios. Very large. So basically what he has done is to shoot himself in the foot because he's now just an assemblyman, you know. With an assemblyman, where you going and travel? You can't travel. Well, you could travel, but you have to spend your own money.
Right. He doesn't have the people's business.
He doesn't have the people's business now. It's now fate, right? Who's gonna, I guess, she's gonna get some of those portfolios, or he might reassign it to someone else. So the fella really mash up your own thing. He mash it up. You understand? He
Well,
did.
he's in St. Lucia saying that he wants to be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and that he's going to unite the Caribbean and a whole lot of other things like that. All nice talk.
But Tommy, how you go unite the Caribbean and you can't unite your own party?
That's what I'm saying. It's like in my house, it's total disarray, and I'm out in the street telling the people I'll unite the entire neighborhood or the entire city.
Could that be an oxymoron? You going up St. Lucia and telling them, I want to unite the Caribbean, but 60,000 people, right? Use the political leader of that party that won 14 seats in an election, and you can't unite them. But you want to go all the way up the Caribbean to unite the Caribbean. Make it make sense now.
Delusional.
Well, tell me, what did I miss? I missed something, man. Help me out now.
Somebody's delusional.
Oh God, I ain't get it. So
Yeah.
Funny Robert says it's important that Farley organizes members, form a new party, and serve the people of Tobago.
Of
And look to
course.
get 2 seats in a general election. With those 2 seats, he can negotiate.
That's right.
You know what?
That's right.
You know what? To be honest with you, Vonnie, that makes a lot of sense.
And it's a good thing that these things happen. There's no bad breeze ever blows. What happened for good, so that they could really get their business straight. They could buckle down, do the people's business, and really fix Tobago once and for all.
But
Because
Tommy,
with mhm,
in an internal election in the PDP, will Duke still win as a political leader? I think he will still win.
maybe.
You know why he will still win? Because I think he will put people in a place, right? That's going to be yes men or yes women. That has to
He
vote.
got
People in the executive that will vote and have no choice but to vote for him. So I think the people who currently in the assembly, the other 13 candidates, 13 assembly people, may have to go down a different path.
Hey, we'll see what
Because
they do.
Because I think what has happened is that Duke has created an offspring now of the PDP, right? Just as how
Are the other 13 with Farley? Can we
yeah, of course.
be right?
Yeah. Because in that picture there, that's the other 12 that was standing with him.
Okay.
The only assembly person that wasn't there was Watson Duke.
So Farley has 12 disciples.
Yes, he has 12 disciples. That's why Duke had to resign. Because if he didn't resign, they would have bring a no confidence motion against him and they would have kicked him out. So he missed. Oh, you know what I hear somebody say? I hear somebody say he was playing all fours. He had an ace, a king, a jack, and a 10. And he miscalculated and chose jack. And he gave jack hang. Yeah, I didn't say this. This is what the person said.
Well, if he had an ace, a king, a jack, and a 10, that means somebody had the queen.
There you go. Right? And he miscalculated and he chose jack. And the person with the queen hung he jack. You see? So that was the miscalculation. He gave jack hang. He was so confident because he thought he had everything in his hand. Or maybe he thought his partner had the queen. You understand? And he chose jack. You understand? As a matter of fact, let me get a song there with that one. Eh? Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what happens and what happened, I'll say it again, happened for good. No bad breeze don't blow. So the people at Tobago, this is their salvation right now. They're being saved from chaos later on. While it's still early, they could straighten up, get the ship set up right so that they could take the journey.
Gary, but Tommy, people had great hopes for the PDP in Tobago.
Well, they still have great hopes, and what happening is this is that they may have to change ships. It may not be the PDP, maybe PD something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but whatever it is, they're gonna get it together. Or even if they have to hijack the PDP in full and put them out, so be it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just felt that this was a great opportunity for the people of Tobago in order for them to get it right. Because what has happened is that whether you like it or not, the PNM has already gained the momentum now. The PNM has the momentum in Tobago as of today.
That's right.
Yeah, they have the momentum. And the man built something and he mashed it up the same time. He built it and he mashed it up.
But Tobago people generally, at this point, they're all fed up at the PNM, you know. They're fed up at PNM to vote so overwhelmingly, where you almost took all 15 seats.
Mm-hmm.
They may have taken all 15 seats. It's just that you know that one that they gave up is probably because they didn't want it to look too bad.
Yeah. The AG, our self-appointed AG, Lana says, "Don't worry, Kito's making room in our ministry for Duke." And Judy says, "What is sad is why he keeps on talking. Duke must have a mental health issue." I don't think, I wouldn't say that, Judy. I will think that the thing about it is that Duke has a very large ego, and his ego is driving him. And
Yeah, but
sometimes, huh?
your ego could create mental issues too.
Correct is right, Toby. You're absolutely correct. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So Judy could be on point with what she's saying. I wouldn't disagree with
Okay.
her.
All right. All right. Thank you for correcting me. No problem at all. I think it makes sense what you're saying there. You know, your ego
Mm-hmm.
could cause you mental issues. Correct
Mm-hmm.
is right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Avoni, I don't know how you want Duke to relax himself. And I really don't know how he could relax himself. You know, because the guy is a guy, all he knows how to do is attack. You know?
Aslam, we have a guest coming on tonight.
Well, we're supposed to have a guest, but I ain't see nobody in the in the background.
Call my schoolmate.
At 9:30, we're supposed to have a guest.
Okay, I was gonna tell you. If he wasn't coming, call my schoolmate and see what he has to say.
Yeah. Rose, good night. So Hailey said, yeah, but Duke is the one who fund the whole thing. So he's wrong when he see dissatisfaction. Yeah, he messed up. He just messed up. Plain talk, bad manners. You know, he was supposed to, I mean, the chairman of the party. Okay, let me quickly read this. Vonnie says, I don't believe that the people will support the PNM. Fali can come back stronger. With what all that is going on, he just need to serve the people. He need to have an open house. Yeah. Well, I feel
Yes,
go ahead, Tommy.
he started with the right attitude, and that's important. And with that attitude that he begun with, as long as he keeps it up, he'll be fine. But what were you saying?
You know what? What has happened is that there's been some type of confidence in Farley. He may have made a misstep here, right? But there's some confidence in him that he can calm the ship and move the ship forward for the betterment of the people of Tobago. And Farley's not going to come and just blow everything up. He's not a guy.
I agree.
He's not a guy with a blow up personality. He go come and he go say and try to mash everything up. You know,
and he gives you the feeling that if he makes a mistake, he's not afraid to apologize or to admit that he did something wrong. At least that's the personality he seems to possess. Not one who's all full of himself, and we clearly see who's full of themselves.
But right. So Hailey says, I can't pick no side in that mix-up because, hold on. I can't pick no side in that mix-up because we on the outside only getting the bacchanal and gossip. Hailey, you are absolutely correct. However, actions speak louder than words. Sometimes you can see a person's action and their behaviors, and you could kind of figure out the chessboard, you know what I mean? And what happened is that there were certain chess moves that happened, and it started with what happened in New York, and then it went on to the firing of the 3 deputy political leaders, right? And then there was a blowback from the other side in that, you know, if you want, you can bring a no confidence motion against the chief secretary, and we'll allow you to do that. So we open the floor for you to bring a no confidence motion. But in order to bring that, you had to have a majority of the people in the assembly, in the THA.
That's right.
And when he realized he didn't have that, there was no alternative left for him but to resign. And that's where he messed up on the chessboard. He got checkmate on the chessboard. Right? And the only thing he could do now is be a mashup person.
Right.
So let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM. And when we come back, we want you all to see this. A person was supposed to be a person friend call out the political leader of the NTA. You guys definitely want to see this. Stick and stay, don't go nowhere. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Dr. Mashup.
Dr. Mashup, yeah, Dr. Mashup. That's a good name for that fella, you know. You know what? I go coin him that name from the works from Dr. Mashup Duke. I go give him that name. You don't tell me when I brand new with something it'll stick, right?
Correct, is right.
Okay, nah. I can't give him Dr. Mashup. I already gave him transformational leader. I can't give him Dr. Mashup because I gave Farley transformational leader and he's proven me to be correct every single day, right? Every time. The fella want the best for Tobago. You could see it there. Just like Judy says, highly, me too, hoping for the best. Tobagonians can fix it without Trinis involved. Laughed out loud.
I agree. It can be fixed, even at this point. But
yeah,
attitude is going to determine altitude, and Duke's attitude is not right.
Right. Lana says the people of Tobago have utmost confidence in Chavez. Lana, I think you're absolutely correct. I think that the people of Tobago have decided. I think most of the people in Tobago have basically picked a side because you had to pick a side, you know. you got to pick a side. You can't be on the fence, right? The people who are currently in the assembly picked a side. They picked Farley's side. They didn't pick Duke's side.
Anselm, I know you have family in Duke's constituency. What is the feeling in that constituency?
They don't like what Duke doing.
Okay. Say no more.
They don't like what Duke doing. They would have rather him go behind closed doors and work out their differences with Farley, and they come with a united front.
I agree with them.
You understand?
Because there must be, if you're human, you must have differences. It'll be hypocritical to feel that you have to agree on everything.
Okay, so, yeah. So listen to this, right? Ulrich is saying, still feel Farley could have handled things differently. Now, Ulrich, I agree with you, that there were certain things that he could have handled differently. For example, I would not have went down the road with respect to we were going to re-examine the DCS
portfolio.
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't have went down that road. But Farley's a very young fella, and he's entitled to make little mistakes like that. But Watson Duke is supposed to be an astute politician.
More experienced than Farley.
Yes. And the mistakes he's making is kindergarten mistakes. He should not be making those kindergarten mistakes, right? So I feel that, and that's why Farley went silent for a little bit. Because it appears that Farley realized that, you know what, boy, maybe there's one thing I could take back, and he decided to go silent. That is what transformational leaders do. They re-examine their position and say, boy, you know, boy, I wasn't right on that, you know. Let me fall back. Right? Hailey says, Anselm, before this, you said Duke was transformational, right? So what really happened to make up, mash up the thing? Look, somebody just said it, and Tommy corrected me. I said his ego, it was his big ego, and Judy said, no, he has mental health problems. And I was saying, no, but Tommy corrected me and said, having a big ego can cause mental health problems.
Yep.
So even as a transformational leader, hold up. No, you were not. Yeah, even a transformational leader, right? Things could happen, right? It doesn't make him a non-transformational leader. He is a transformational leader. He is. Right? So, yeah, he could be a mashup man too. But he was always a mashup man. When he was in the PSA, he was a mashup man. Now, Judy has a question. Why Farley giving out contracts to Trini instead of giving Tobagonians to get control? If they were talking about building Tobagonians, right? Judy, that's a great question, but we have to wait for the evidence to come out.
You see, Lana's answer to that. Lana said, Judy, Tobago don't have big contractors with heavy machinery, which could be a point too.
Tobago has one big contractor that I know of is the Warner Contractors. The guy who built the place where Rowley and family have like condos and thing. I know he's a big contractor in Tobago. And he got previously under the P&M. Now we have to take this into consideration too.
But if
no, go ahead, Tommy.
But if he is the only contractor, wouldn't he be oversubscribed? But go ahead. When?
Well, Tommy, I was now coming to that. But you see, Tommy, he was a P&M supporter.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with why. But at the end of the day, he's a Tobagonian, and he should be providing work for Tobago people, regardless of what.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just answer this. Tell this person I'm on here. Hold on. Yeah, but to me, if message, hold on here. Yeah. To me, you see, with the political landscape, right? The way how it is that when a political party in power, the people who have financed the party or supported the party, them contractors get a lot of the work, right? So it's my understanding that Warner, who is one of the bigger contractors in Tobago, is a PNM, is supposed to be a supporter of the PNM. It shouldn't be like that, but that's how them just handle their stories, right? So he may not be in good standing with the PDP because he financed the PNM in the last election against the PDP, right?
Okay.
So he may not be in
Okay.
good standing as far as the PDP is concerned. And that's how the politics roll in Trinidad and Tobago.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it roll. So when Judy asked the question why Fally giving out contracts to Trinis instead of giving to Bagonians first to get contracts, right? I would think, Tommy, that there are still other smaller contractors in Tobago who can actually do the job because the bigger contractors might be having these smaller contractors as middlemen or subcontractors who are actually doing the work. So I wouldn't say there's not enough contractors in Tobago who can do the work, but we had to wait for that evidence to come out to see if that is. And if that is, that's unacceptable. And they have to fix that. But they could fix that. Right? They could fix that. They could fix that, Tommy.
Yep.
Right? That's something that's fixable. So you see, Duke gone and throw that out into the public space now. Right? Trying to create again mashup.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So Lana, there is one or two contractors I know of, Warner very well. As a matter of fact, let me see. I'll tell you guys what it's called. Warner Contracting Tobago. It has a different name. Warner Contracting Tobago. Oh, here it is. Alan Warner. Here it is. Here it is. It's called Warner Construction Company Limited of Tobago. Right? They also had York Structures Limited in Tobago. Right? Warner Construction Limited. And let me see something. Okay, the one Inez Investment. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's Inez Investment. Yes,
Right.
that's it. All right. So it's the Warner Group. So the Warner Group of companies. Hold on, come on. The Warner Group of companies, Inez Investment Limited, Inez Development, Bacolet, Tobago, Inez Gay Development, Chauvin Road, Tobago, Pentland Park Development, Plymouth, Tobago, Phoenix Core Development, Derby, Trinidad. So he is in Tobago and he's
And
also in
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Trinidad. But you
Yes.
see what Ulrich says here? Ulrich said Fally moved as if he knew he and Duke would fall out and was preparing himself for that. And maybe he also get a bit swell-headed and forgot who's responsible for him being there. That's Ulrich's
Nah,
comment.
Ulrich. Nah, Ulrich. Ulrich, come on, man. Ulrich, oh God, Ulrich. Come on, man. The whole thing started. Oh, look, Curry says, I thought Duke had better vision and was a breath of fresh air in politics. Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly correct. And that's what the people wanted. The people wanted a breath of fresh air in the political landscape, and they thought that he will bring it to the people. Right? But let me get to Ulrich comment. Lana says right now, set up contractors getting plenty work because they have heavy machinery for every job. Yeah, so
Right.
so Inez Investment is a set of companies in Tobago under Warner. Like Warner has Warner Hardware Limited, Allcrete Limited, that's under Warner. That's ready mix concrete products. Warner Construction Limited and Sanitation Limited, Civil Construction, Building Construction, that's in Tobago. Allcrete Limited in Tobago. Warner Hardwares Limited in Tobago. He even has Robana Distributors Limited in Woodbrook, Port of Spain. He also has Penny Saver Limited, which is in Canaan and Canby and Scarborough. And these are all under Inez Investment Limited, right? But Inez is considered to be a P&M financer, right? So if he's a
Right.
P&M financer, he may not be in good grace with the PDP because during the last election, Warner Construction and Inez financed the P&M. You see?
What Warner didn't learn the game well enough. They should have financed both.
Oh, Tommy, Tommy, I tell you, you make too much sense, you know.
Oh yeah.
I keep telling you that, you know. Tommy, the fella didn't learn the game. He didn't. He put all the eggs in one basket. Yeah, he didn't learn the game. He put all his eggs in one basket. He didn't do like them fellas in Trinidad. Them fellas in Trinidad just put the eggs in 3 and 4 and 5 baskets.
That's right. If one fall down, they don't have to worry.
They don't have to worry. They don't have to worry because one of them go win. And whichever one wins, we inside. And that is what happened with him, right? He was not politically astute in order to understand the political chess match, you know? And he played a game. What he played is called a zero-sum game, win-lose. In a zero-sum game, it's like when you go to the casino, somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. It's called a zero-sum game. And he played a zero-sum game and he lost. You see? So, yeah, there are big contractors in there's a big contractor in Tobago. But he played the wrong game and he lost. So, I mean, it shouldn't be like that, Tommy, but that's what it is. That's the landscape.
Yeah. That's where you are.
Mm.
You have to learn the rules.
No, funny. Andy Williams and them. Andy Williams particularly. Andy Williams is my friend, my UNC friend. But I tell you, Andy Williams has no information about that situation. Right? And this is what Vonnie's saying. If this is correct, what Andy Williams says, Andy Williams think Farley is not exposing all the corruption of the P&M. It don't make sense because he said he was going to put out the audit of the previous government, I think someday this week. I don't get it. And it's more for the P&M. And Duke is against the P&M. Nah, that ain't making sense. Sorry. That ain't making sense at all. That not making sense.
Farley don't need no distractions.
Eh?
Farley doesn't need distractions at this point. He needs to focus on the people's business.
Yeah. Who is Sat Sissa? I don't know who that is.
Sat Sais is a big contractor big contractor in Trinidad. Sat Sais.
Oh, Sat Sais a big contractor in Trinidad?
Yep.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
Yeah, well.
Only plenty contractors hiring Venice instead of local laborers in Trinidad. A big contractor is St. Helena. You know them, Tommy?
Yeah, I've seen them around. A lot of contractors grew, or should I say, came on stream in Trinidad, and even this one who used to rent cars became a big contractor. That's what's their name again? Um, oh
How
man,
long ago was that? Long time ago?
they they, they actually caught their win when the UNC won election. They
Oh,
used to be a car rental company for
I heard
many
of it,
many
but
moons.
I don't know the name. I know what you're talking about.
Um, they located right outside the airport perimeter there.
Yeah. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name. So, well, well, um, Vonnie, Valley needs to surround himself with some good experts, political experts. That is exactly what Fali is doing. And a matter of fact, he named. Oh, I'm seeing Dr. Shane in the background. As a matter of fact, um, he named Hochul Charles, and he named another person as part of the experts that he have on his team. And Hochul Charles
Advisors.
is the president. You know? So Ulrich say Fali moved as if he knew he and Duke will fall out and was preparing himself for that, and maybe also got a bit swell-headed and forgot who's responsible for him being there. Yeah, so
Oh,
what?
the com-
So because he was responsible for him there, he should be at Duke's beck and call? Nah.
the com- the company I was trying to remember, Anslim, is Calco.
Yes,
They call them.
there you go. Yes.
They grew leaps and bounds.
Yeah. So before we go to Dr. Shane, Vonnie says time goes fast, so it's important that Fali organize himself and his group and serve the people. Let them see him and not hide himself in the office.
So
Nah,
true.
Fali outside.
Yeah,
I mean,
he has to focus on people's business, and he'll be all right.
yeah, I'm Vonnie saying I think it's too much is said by both parties that might be difficult to reconcile the differences.
True.
That might be a good point. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Hailey says expectations are not met by Duke and Farley, honestly. That was not ready for all that support system behind them. I mean, it's
We have
9 months now.
we have an intelligent set of listeners and viewers here in the village. You know,
Yeah.
they they're brilliant people.
Yep. We can say that definitely. Judy said Tommy is going around all over the place talking about Caribbean nations instead of Tobago and political affairs. So let's bring in Dr. Shane Mohammed. Dr. Shane Mohammed laughing already. You even come in the village and you're laughing. Dr. Mohammed, welcome. You ain't come in the village and you're already laughing in the background. Right?
Good
Good
evening,
night, good
Dr.
evening,
Mohammed.
everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good
How you
evening.
doing,
How are
Dr.
you?
Mohammed? Welcome back. Yeah. I know we have you for a short time tonight. How you doing, sir?
Listen, I
How
am
are you?
exhausted. I am exhausted.
We had an
Listen,
NTA meeting tonight, huh?
what's that? No, it wasn't tonight. It wasn't tonight.
we just minding your business tonight.
Mind away, man. Mind away.
People don't come in the village and laugh like how you laugh there, though.
Nah, man. I looking on some of the comments, and some of them I'm shaking my head, but it's been a busy week. The week now start, and it's been a busy week, and last week when I was on and I was laughing, and I was giving you the smirks. It was because I had some conversations, and I had offered some advice, and it I must say it may not have been advice. People, when people offer advice, they expect that people take your advice wholeheartedly and implement it. But I can safely say that I'm very happy about the way things were handled, and I am very relieved that this is over. We Tobagonians, I do respect Tobagonians, and I have a great deal of affection and loyalty to them, because I went in there as a total stranger and they accepted me because of my ability to understand their culture, understand the people. And that also stems from me being able to having spent some years teaching Tobagonian students. So it was, I was given a introductory lesson into the Tobago culture, and going in with that was very helpful in understanding the political culture. And I'm not disappointed in Duke. I could safely say that I'm not surprised. And it is people as I'm looking on at the comments, and it's a simple thing. This is not a hard thing, and people must understand the very basics of this entire piece of bacchanal that is now over. It was Duke literally wanting his way, and on the highway. Good night, the cockroach partner, seeing Philip attacking Gary now. Ulrich, that was inevitable. I have no regard for Philip. I think Philip is a grasshopper, and he hops on any leaf that looks green and healthy, right?
But wait, Dr. Mount, I don't want you shift the goalpost yet. Let me go back. Let me stay on. We go get the Ulrich. Let me stay.
Ulrich, Ulrich, you know what Ulrich does do? Ulrich does distract me, man. Ulrich.
Ulrich, don't come with no kind of distraction in here, What's wrong with you?
Yeah. But
I go take back one of them business you have, We go stop getting your advertising, we go stop getting your sponsorship here on WZYE, We already have our next business that we have to talk about, but we ain't gonna talk about that tonight. But don't come. So Dr. Shane, we go get back to Ulrich. Let me start Ulrich comment. So we go get back to it. Once I start him, I know we go get back to him. Let me finish up with it, because listen to this.
No, but
you said, I wanted to ask you something before I forget. What was the advice you offered them?
Well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to put in the public's domain the advice that I give them. I think I owe them that level of confidentiality.
Okay.
But I could simply say that I would say that I preferred that the issue needed to come to the issue needed to be dealt with expeditiously. There was swift action that needed to be taken, and they needed to do what was necessary politically, act expeditiously politically in the interest of maintaining public confidence in the administration. And they did exactly that. I don't know why we are still talking about Watson. The way I saw where the deputy political leaders in Trinidad PDP defending him, and people are talking about. I also saw the comment where good night, Carice. The people are talking about Farley is where Farley is because Duke put him there. And I beg to differ. Duke didn't put him there. Duke had no choice.
Tobago people did.
Correct. The Tobagonians put him there. And let me tell you how this was that happened. This which happened regarding where we are now with regard to Duke's position should have been, or it was probably, good night, Lana, it was probably foreseen before, but nobody wanted to rock a boat because there was an election to win. And sometimes you have to put aside take the white elephant and put it aside for the greater good of the island and the country. And that, I think, is exactly what they did. Now, I predicted that Duke was possibly positioned to flip the Tobago East seat in the 2020 general election. But within a 2-week period, when I was being consulted by, I was asked to render my services in the back room of the operations, of the political operations, and there was this keep counting of Duke's seat, and saying that, you know, even I, at one point in time, I said that he could possibly still pull it from the PNM 2 weeks before the election. And within that 2-week space, Duke was totally out of control. And he became, what I would say, he became wrapped up, like somebody take him and they wrap him in this plastic wrap, that he got so full of hubris that he was behaving as if he had won already, when in fact he had jeopardized his seat. And coming down to the end of it, I calculated that he would not win. And when he did not win, I went out there and I said that Watson Duke did not win the Tobago East seat because of his mouth. He did not know how to politically communicate in a manner which captivated the minds of the Tobagonian people. Note, it is the very same people who did not vote for Duke voted for the PDP led by Farley Augustine. If that PDP was led by Duke, they would have not gotten to 6-6, and they would not have gotten to the 14-1. They would have given it to the Trinity. Let me tell you something. What I absolutely love about Farley Augustine is that he is calculated with his words. The man chooses his words very wisely, right? He does not need a sheet of paper to speak. He's very, very versed with the English language and its vocabulary. And he uses it to his benefit, and he uses it very well. And he actually has the man has the ability to captivate the imagination and the realities of Tobagonians. It is not that he's giving them cat in bag and he's not giving them a 619. He is, when he lays that report in the House tomorrow, right? I believe it's either tomorrow or Thursday.
Thursday,
I think it's
Thursday.
I think it's Thursday.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday.
When he lays that report on Tuesday, right? Tongues will be hanging out of people's mouth. And you have to give him credit. He's brave. He's one of the few politicians that has been brave enough. He did what Kamla Prasad Bisasa did not do as Prime Minister. Let me bring it up to put it in a nutshell for you. Farley Augustine, in the 9 months that he has been Chief Secretary, he did what Kamla Prasad Bisasa couldn't do refused to do in 5 years. He has done it in 9 months. And that report, whatever that report has in it, whoever is culpable, they should go to jail. No man shall be spared for wasting public funds, and especially denying the Tobagonian people their access to development. Right? So I would say the conversation about Duke is over. Duke has literally committed political suicide, and no matter how much he grand charge, right? And no matter how much he come and he put out press release about he's accustomed winning, this is politics, partner, not trade unionism. There's a difference, a clear line of separation between politics and trade unionism. And any trade union that politicizes its role and function fails. Look at the OWTU. And what happened to the refinery? Right? So Duke not going nowhere. He might as well resign his seat and go.
So, Dr. Mohammed, you wouldn't believe this. Read the chat, dinner, man. Your partner just put something in the chat.
Look thing. There's a God above.
Doctor,
Doctor say look thing.
Dr.
There's a
Mohammed,
God above.
Dr.
Go ahead,
Mohammed,
Yes,
go ahead,
sir.
Kobe.
the fate of the PDP. What is your opinion?
There's no PDP, you know. The man took his
Uh,
political party and he walked. The PDP is done and over with. There's
uh,
no space for the PDP in Trinidad, just like there's no space in Trinidad for the PEP, right? Ulrich, you go vex with me, but I've given you the truth, and this is the reality, right? The fact of the matter is, all eyes are on Gary Griffith, and whether or not he gets the nod as commissioner of police from the police service commission. If he tops that interview at the police service commission level, he is now going to be putting the prime minister's back against a wall. And Rowley has a responsibility to look at the individual from a professional level and his abilities from a professional level and his abilities with regard to the reduction of crime in Trinidad and Tobago, which is on the record, which he did. Up to this day, the man has an 89% approval rating amongst Trinidadians and Tobagonians. I am not giving you fiction, that is fact. And you whether you like somebody or not, you cannot take your personal feelings about someone. You think everybody gonna like me? Not everybody like me, because you know why? They're gonna say that little Indian boy just talk too much and he feel too bright, right? They are seniors. I can tell you, I have seniors in my sphere, right, that refuse to sit on a panel with me to speak on issues, right? So at the end of the day, there are people, you have to put aside the personalities and look at people's capabilities and competence. And right now, sorry to say, Gary Griffith is the only man that is capable of managing our crime situation and reducing it to the level of where we feel safe again.
Dr. Mohammed,
Go ahead,
Dr.
Kobe.
Mohammed, I know you're politicking for Gary, but I'm I'm still focused on Tobago. What do you think is the best option for the 13 that has remained with?
Well, there's no legal obligation and there's no obligation under the law for them to function under a political party structure at this point in time. So they can very well take their time and decide whether they want to start a new political party or whether they want to reignite the Tobago Forwards, which I went into research and found out is an active political organization, and therefore they can use the Tobago Forwards, rebrand it and use it today and change the constitution the way they want it, and also and that sort of thing, because it's there for them to use if they so choose. They can also go to Ashwood Jack and ask him about the existence of the TOP. I don't believe that the top has been dissolved. So they have options, and Ashwood Jack has been one of the experienced political minds that has been advising them, and so far he has not been wrong in his advice to them. Kudos to him.
So that means to say, Dr. Mohammed, if anyone else in the assembly currently has an executive position in the PDP, they will have to resign that position, right?
Yeah, because you see, the thing is, from what I understand, Zarisha Hackett, who's the Secretary for Education, she actually is the public relations officer of the PDP in Tobago.
Right.
And I gather there's a level of strategy why persons who hold executive positions within the PDP has not yet resigned. And I don't want to go into too much details because, we don't want to. I don't want to jeopardize people's political strategy, and what the possibilities may be in that regard.
Well, I mean, I could say if I'm an outsider looking in, and
But there's
if
no obligation. I don't think there's any obligation, to be honest with you, for anybody to be hurried to resign.
no,
There's
I hear
always
you. I hear you, Dr. Mohammed,
it's
but you
always
can't
good
be
to
half
it's
pregnant
always
now.
good to have. No, no,
You
no.
can't
It's
be.
not a
You
matter
can't
of
be.
being. It's not a matter
It's
of
either
being
you,
half
it's either
pregnant,
is
you
a
know.
PDP or is not. At this point in time, you have to pick a side, you know. The 13
No, no, no,
actually
no, no.
pick a
Listen.
side.
No, 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 no. Let me tell you something. Not everybody in the 13 came from the PDP, yeah?
No, I understand that. I know that. I'm aware of
Right.
that.
And,
Yeah.
and as a result of that, it may also be in the interest of the executive council for persons who hold executive positions in the PDP to stay where they are at this point unless they are also fired by the political leader. And I will say that I'll say to you that the devil is always in the details, and I have to also, you know, I don't want, again, this is a very ticklish scenario, and it is also one that we have to be very careful. I, as a political scientist, I have to be very careful with my words, and I have to be very careful with my public utterances, because I don't want to be irresponsible and say something that could jeopardize a strategy that might be at play.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair enough. So I think what we have on the table though is that we can say that as far as Tobago is concerned, the PDP is dead.
Yeah. We're going. Put it in Mount Grey Cemetery and leave it on Mount St. George Cemetery and leave it there.
That's
The
putting it
leader can go and lie down too.
that's putting it very mildly. That's putting it very,
Yeah.
very mildly. Is that, you know, so the cause of all of this I call it checkmate on the chessboard, is that what Snook has called this himself. Now, there was one thing that Farley had said regarding to reevaluating the DCS position. I felt he could have kind of keep that in his pocket instead of coming out and saying that. That's just one of the things. But that's besides, you know what I mean?
That's strategy too. That's also strategy. Because you have to be, for him to have been able to play checkmate, for us to get the checkmate, he had to play a hand, right? He had to make a move. Now, he never said he was going to fire the chief secretary, the deputy chief secretary. He said he was going to reevaluate the responsibilities under the office. Now, that is completely different from him saying outrightly that he needs to be fired. There was, if Duke could never go on any public platform and say that he was threatened to be fired. And it is the prerogative of the chief secretary to reevaluate any secretary's portfolio, whether he realigns it, whether he makes it less, whether he increases it, whether he reassigns responsibilities to someone else to help with the burden of getting the work and in making the job get helping, assisting the secretaries in getting the job done at a faster pace because of the urgency to provide better services to the people of Tobago. So he never said there's nobody out there, and even this fool cannot say that he was threatened to be fired. He was never threatened to be fired. His office was going to be reevaluated, but then he took that bait and ran with it as an ignoramus, and he played his hand, and then all came tumbling down.
I thought that the checkmate was that when he told Watson Duke, bring a no confidence motion against the chief. And to me, that was telling him, you go and see if you could get 8 people in the assembly to vote for you, right? And no confidence against me.
Did you see the statement put out by the minority leader?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh well, listen, it just adds a different level of flavor to the pot, man. Let me read this for you all. Let me read this for you all. This.
When did
Oh
that
my
come out?
gosh. Today.
Oh no, I ain't see it. I ain't see it.
Today. The
Oh,
minority
we
leader
behind.
put out a statement, man. Let me tell you, this
Is that the
statement,
one
I
you say
was like,
where
Enlighten us.
he something with regard what he had voted for Duke as deputy chief?
yes, listen, he put it, he said, he apologized for, oh my God, where is the
Yeah,
statement,
let
man?
me see if I screenshot that. Hold on.
He
Oh yeah, yeah,
apologized. He
yeah.
said, I
Kelvin
read
Morris
it.
regrets nominating Watson Duke as deputy chief secretary.
Yes, and he apologized for doing so by, he used a very technical word. It was about, right, look at here. He says, it's in the Guardian actually. I found it amazing. Minority Leader of the Tobago House of Assembly, Calvin Morris, has apologized for nominating Watson Duke for the post of Deputy Chief Secretary. Morris rose and said Duke in the special sitting. The PNM councillor attempted to second the motion but was denied because she's not an elected. The statement on his Facebook page was posted at 11:56 p.m. yesterday, which would be today, because it's coming out tomorrow. I made a grave error in judgment when I attempted to stroke some more discord by nominating Watson Duke as an alternative choice for the House to have a vote. Indeed, it was one that I deeply regret and wish I could undo. However, it's a lesson I would never forget and one that I would never repeat going forward, he added. Now, let me tell you something. That is also an indication that he might have been called to order by the Tobago councillor, and
Okay.
it's quite possible that he would have been called to order by the Tobago council, and the Tobago council would have said that we never agreed to any nomination. We should have simply stayed quiet because we didn't have the numbers. It could have also been him not understanding the standing orders of the assembly that required that his seconder be an elected member. The question is whether or not, if Duke had sat in the chamber rather than walk around the chamber, the makeshift chamber, because of the house is under construction, renovations. If he had stayed in the chamber, if he would have seconded the motion, that might have been something interesting to see, but it may not. It may have led to further humiliation. But it's how Morris put it about stroking further discord. But there's no discord. It's over. It's over. It's done and over with. It's time to move on. It's dead and buried. Duke is in the wilderness.
You think Fali's in full control now?
I think Fali was always in full control, to be quite honest with you. And I don't believe that the chief secretary was ever not in control of the assembly and the administration.
Well, they did a few things to pacify Watson Duke, though. That $400,000 was to pacify Watson Duke because it was his constituency. I mean, which I thought.
And listen, and that is the point I was making before Ulrich distracted me earlier. That we all must understand that the root of this entire debacle is the fact that Duke wanted Farley to act illegally. I don't know how much more money. In fact, if I were to have my say, I think he went above and beyond the call of duty with regard to the $400,000 for 24 persons, right?
Yeah,
and it was a lot, and it clearly would have covered a lot of their expenses and experience. So a lot of their expenses and their yes, I was right. Their experience in New York. You also have to take into consideration that he was under no obligation to help these people. What he did was a moral. he handed out a moral olive branch to these people because they did not go to New York to represent the THA in any form or fashion.
So here it is. I want to get this question first, and I want you to listen to something. Question to Mr. Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed. Do you think next general election, ABC will add more seats and more constituency for PNM? I mean,
well, okay. We have to be very careful about how we describe and how we talk about the EBC, and there's a process, right? There's a mathematical formula that is used, and I can tell you that because it is studied in political science. The constituencies are decided by population density compared to geographical area, right? And therefore, the reason why there are shifts in boundaries of constituencies and electoral districts is that there are areas where there's not enough persons to create a new constituency. So therefore, we are in a position where we can't go beyond 41 seats because take, for example, Moruga Tableland, which is a very large constituency. The population of Moruga Tableland, the voting population in Moruga Tableland is just about 18,000 people. For there to be changes, the population in any one constituency has to be above 25,000, and it has to be where you have to have a large majority of persons that you can shift to create a new constituency. So no, the answer is no. I don't see there being any new constituencies being created because population density to geographical area is more or less equal. You have to take into consideration Trinidad and Tobago doesn't have we have an aging population. We don't have a growing population.
So here,
Dr. Mohammed,
yes,
when we have housing developments going on left, right, and center, and new location, doesn't that create a change or shifting?
Not in any. What we found is, I'll tell you this. What we found is that people move, but they don't necessarily change their voting addresses. And
even when they move into these new housing developments.
Yes. I live in St. Augustine. I reside in St. Augustine, but my mailing address is still in Princestown, so therefore I still vote in Princestown. Now, my intention is before the next general election to change my address so that it will reflect that I will vote in St. Augustine. But the people don't see that as a great need. What has to happen is that it has to be an obligation within the Housing Development Corporation structure that once you are allocated keys to public housing, you automatically must register your name and change your address. But no housing minister as well, or no planning minister has ever seen the great urgency and the need for that to be done. So
but doesn't that affect the level of service that will be extended based on population sizes?
No. Remember I told you the population density is not, the population sizes are not changing drastically. I mean, 1,000 people within our constituency, if so much. Look, they're gonna, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, they're gonna be handing out 500 keys in. I think it's in the east, a constituency in the east, but it doesn't give any no great shift in terms of services and that kind of thing. No.
Because 500 keys means 500 minimum 500 more
Only one.
people, families to pick up garbage to provide WASA services.
Yeah, but no. But you see, you remember, it doesn't change the those things that you're talking about is at the local government level, and it doesn't what I'm trying to explain is that those things are not taken into consideration because it's of no huge consequence in terms of providing goods and services. So the garbage truck simply has to pass in 2 extra streets. That is a matter of having to pay the garbage man more money, but which he would welcome. But if he's designated, or his company or whoever is designated for that particular area, then there's no great significance there in terms of having any strain, for no great amount of strain on the economy or or on the corporation and that sort of thing.
So, Dr. Mohammed, I wanted to take a listen to this and give me your feedback on this one here. This is a quick audio here. I want you to you'll be able to hear it on the screen as well. Take a listen. Hold on.
Only one.
Here we go.
I'll give you an example. Today, yes, the PEP. Today, somebody sent something to me. I want to play this from my phone through the microphone.
Our constitution was drafted that the special branch reports to whom? Take a guess who the special branch reports to. Not the commissioner of police, the prime minister. People don't know that. It is a fact. I was the Minister of National Security and I was the Commissioner of Police. I can tell you, they report directly to the Prime Minister. There are 2 special branch officers here tonight that are actually macroing and watching everything that is being said. Because, now Lauren, don't look around. They're just doing their job. But I'll tell you why. Because the role and function of the special branch, listen, is to attend every political meeting by opponents of the government and report to the Prime Minister who attended and what was said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is dictatorship. It must end.
Right. But you was the Minister of National Security. And it didn't matter to you then when it was working for you. And that is what upsets me. And you were the Commissioner of Police. But when you and Rowley was good, it wasn't a problem that Special Branch was reporting to Rowley. Because we now hear you talk about that. And I want you to understand, my partner Kurt was at that meeting too. And I want you to understand, I know Gary since I was a little boy. But politics in this country cannot be about who is your friend and who you like. Politics in this country has to be about the truth in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell me the truth.
What says you, Dr. Mohammed?
Can I be? Can I?
No, before you answer, let me add something. Philip was also one of Gary's assistant when he was
minister.
Right, when he was the minister. So it's pot calling the kettle black. But anyway, go ahead.
Can I have the permission for you all to speak freely?
Yes.
He's talking a pack of bullshit.
Okay. Explain it to us.
He's plain and simple. He's talking bullshit, and I have a problem with people like Philip, who misleads the population and does not tell the population the entire truth. Gary Griffith in that statement said, the Constitution was drafted where the special branch of the police reports to the Prime Minister. How in God's name could it be good for him when he was minister, and good for him when he was the commissioner, But nowhere is he saying that we have not had a constitutional majority in this country since 1986.
So
there are aspects of our constitution that requires a constitutional majority to change the constitution. And that constitutional majority is 31 seats.
So what are you saying that
31.
Even though Gary was Minister of National Security, he was Commissioner
He
of
could
Police,
not have done anything.
He couldn't change anything.
No, Kamala Ida as Prime Minister couldn't change anything.
So, but, oh God, this thing nice, boy.
Listen, and that is the dotishness that is continuing to fuel in this country. That people have this belief that Philip Alexander. Let me tell you something. I will tell you something now, right?
Yeah, tell me.
Philip Alexander was behaving in a manner that I found was unethical, and he's a hypocrite to now come and talk about Gary, because as you rightfully say, when Gary was minister, Philip got contracts. And I am saying it, ask Philip. Philip, is it not true that when Gary was minister, you got contracts from Gary's ministry? When Rudal Munilal was Minister of Housing, is it true or is it not true that you got work and contracts from the Ministry of Housing? And is it true, Philip, that you did come to the Minister of Health, Dr. Fuad Khan, and you had a meeting with his communication consultant, who at the time was Mr. Shane Mohammed, and you got refused because you wanted too much? Because if we had agreed to what you wanted in your proposal, then there was no need for communications department.
Well, Dr. Mohammed, stay with us for a short bit. We're going to go for a quick station identification.
You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey.
Dr. Shane, you know that's going to make social media, right?
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, that's why I asked the question.
I just telling you ahead of time, you know what I mean? I don't want it. You know, we just keep it real in the village.
Yeah, no, listen, yeah. That's why I asked the question, because he is the type of person who will send you a legal letter.
Right. Yeah. All right. So listen, let's go for a quick station identification. We'll be right back. We have with us tonight political scientist, Dr. Shane Mohammed, always welcome in the village. And when we call on him, he comes, and we have him for a short period tonight. So we don't want to take up too much of his time. Let's go for a quick station identification. We'll be right back after this. Stick on stay.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
You know, Dr. Mohammed, it's kind of surprising, right? And well, it's not surprising. It's not surprising. I was going to say it's surprising, not surprising. yeah. Lana say, Mr. Mohammed, boss a mark. I'm playing donkey tomorrow. Oh God! Hey, look!
Ulrich, let me just tell Ulrich something. Yeah. Ulrich, let me tell you something. I don't have to get nobody to protect me. The advice that I was given as a young man growing up in politics was from Dr. Fuad Khan, and he said to me, he said, Shane, when you do, as long as you talk the truth, nothing and nobody could come after you. And I have made it very clear tonight that the information that I have asked for, I've also provided information whereby I was involved and where I had the authority to say no, and I did say no. Right? It's not a matter of Gary protecting me. It's a matter of principle. My job is to tell the truth. My job is to sit down and comment and talk the truth. It is not for me to come here and politicize and I am an educator. Just before I came on the show, I finished teaching a class, right? I am about the population itself. The population of Trinidad and Tobago needs to be educated on certain things because for too long they are being misled by politicians and politicians like Philip. Philip, you know, it goes to show that people who are in leadership roles like Philip Alexander does not understand politics and does not understand how the thing works. Because at the end of the day, you heard the man, you played the recording where he said the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago was constructed where the special branch of the police reports to the prime minister, and you're telling the country that it was not good for him when it was good for him when he was minister, and it was good for him when he was commissioner. But when he was minister and commissioner, he could not change it because there was no constitutional majority. And there are things in this country that can be changed by a special majority, which is a 2/3 majority, a 3/5 majority. But in order to change the constitution, we need a 2/3 majority, which is a constitutional majority, and that is 31 out of the 41 seats. Do the maths.
Dr. Mohammed?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking that Philip would have tried to join forces with Gigi. Now you put things in a different light, so that means that the chances of that happening is going to be nil.
Do you know
What
that
say you?
Do you know Philip Alexander resigned as political leader of the PEP? Sorry.
Yeah.
He resigned as political leader of PEP, and then come back and take it back and come back. I don't understand. He's like a man that walking in the middle of the road, on the white line in the middle of the road, and it have traffic passing on both sides. But he don't know where he want to be.
So if he decides that he wants to join up with Gigi, what would you say?
Gary has to be an absolute and complete idiot. You don't align yourself with political liabilities. You align yourself with political people who are beneficial to you.
But I know Gary partner. Philip says he and Gary been partners a long time.
He said he and I am so happy that he and Gary is partners. That's even better. Gary would know him who he really is.
You say you know him since he's small.
So Dr. Mohammed, we that was a bombshell later on tonight, though. Kind of exposing Philip Alexander, because Philip Alexander thought he had exposed Gary Griffith, right? And it seemed like if he have exposed himself now, or you have exposed him, because some of the same thing all them guys are doing, he's coming here now like he's Pontius Pilate and trying to pontificate to the people and telling them, well, I'm good and I'm the good one. And you're throwing Gary under the bus. I mean, me and Gary had it on. Yeah. He's throwing Gary under the bus. But, I mean, he wasn't genuine based on your statement. He wasn't as genuine as you thought.
And that is why I continue to ask the question. If he has no cocoa in the sun, the question I am asking is, is it true that you got contracts from the Ministry of Housing under Dr. Ruda Munidal? Is it true that you got contracts under the Ministry of National Security? And is it true that you approached Dr. Fuad Khan as Minister of Health to get contracts for social media management and communications and all of those things? And the answer you got was no.
Well, Philip boy, yeah, questions to answer now, boy. Yeah, and of course, this is going to be on social media. Philip, questions, but questions. And How you think he go answer them questions? He might come after you.
No, but how could he come after me when I could file an FOI? Anybody can file an FOI and go into the public and see whether or not it's true or not. But I'm telling you, it is true. And even if even if it turns out to be not true, right? I ask a question, answer my question. Is it true? And as it pertains to the Ministry of Health, I was the man that the proposal came to, and I met with your son in my office. And I turned around and I told him that if I give you this contract, there's no need for communications department for the ministry. And that would have been a duplication of work. And the value of the proposal was $50,000.
Well, Dr. Mohammed, we know you had a long night tonight and you decided to give us a half an hour, and we're going to respect your time because we appreciate you taking your time to come in any village. And when you come in, you speak truth, and that's what we like about it. And
that's my job, man.
Yeah. You speak truth to power, and every time you come in, I got to tell you, we always get a lot of compliment for Dr. Shane Mohammed. It's like, we sending you global, man. We sending you all over the place now. We sending you
and
global.
I appreciate it very much, and I thank you very much. I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the listeners, right? So thank you very much.
So it's always a pleasure. Any closing words before you go?
No, we continue to look on, and and my hope is that Trinidad and Tobago will get its house in order, and we end up having dynamic political movements like that we see in Jamaica and Guyana and Barbados. It's time Trinidad and Tobago come out of its slumber.
Dr. Mohammed, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Take care, fellas.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Pleasant night.
Well, folks, let's see what's going on tonight.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say.
What we have a political circus.
Boys, a political circus. Them fellas and them, all of them is the same, cut from the same cloth, boy. All of them. You see? You come in and you want to be Pontius Pilate, and you telling people you want to throw the man under the bus. And listen to this. I was generous tonight. That video on TikTok already have 40,000 views.
Wow.
40,000, Tommy.
That and 2 views. That's quite a bit.
That ain't 2 views. Yeah, Nadia, good night. So, folks, before we get out of here, Rennie, Lana, Eugene, Julian just come in. Eugene, welcome. Ulrich, Rennie, and Joan, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat. Yeah, boy. Tommy, boy.
Wow. It's getting hot.
All I could say is wow. Yeah. Lana say, Rennie, ring the bell, boy, and the party now start. Oh,
yeah, nah.
Ulrich say, think to talk and think to whisper, boy.
Good night, Nadia. Good night.
Oh, God. Eugene Julian says, interesting, boy.
I think Nadia leave her good night comments already.
Right. Lana says shots ringing off in Tanapuna right now.
Oh, Lord.
Bring back Dr. Mohammed on Thursday. We having for a short them tonight, boy. But boy, Mark bust tonight, boy. Tommy, I shocked, boy.
What?
Oh, God. Well, yes, I hear. And then Philip answer. That man answer Philip,
Who, Gigi?
Yeah, you answer him, but I even get time to look at it. I had class this evening. So I had time to download that video, right? Because I know I wanted to get Dr. Mohammed feedback on it.
Right.
And God, boy, the thing is a mess. You see?
Wow. Yeah, but it's clear that Duke committed political suicide.
Yeah. He committed
He has totally self-destructed.
But listener, Ulrich, I want to say that we have had people in here, and Dr. Mohammed, when he comes in, he speaks truth to power, and the fella is real good. I have to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The fella is good. You know what I mean? But if he decides he wants to support Gary, I have no problem with him supporting Gary. You understand? Because the fella bring things on the table, and look, he just tell we something they not. I don't know if any of us did know. He just put it out in the public space, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's, and I tell him it's gonna be on social media. He knows that. And I wouldn't be surprised Philip Alexander call a press conference and say he go send him a pre-action protocol letter. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
famous words.
Famous words. That is it. You understand? Because Philip Alexander now had to answer. Oh God, look, Eiley get vexed now, boy. Eiley say partner smart with the tongue, but he talking crap about what Philip was really talking about. All right. So we go see. We go see Hailey. We go see. Hailey put closing comments in the chat. Albert Montano says, I listen attentive. 2/3 of 41 is 271 divided by 3, and 3/5 is 27 and a third. What am I talking about? I listen 2/3 of 41 is 27 and a third, and 3/5 of 41 is 21 and 3/5. Okay, yeah. I think you're right, Albert. I think you're right.
So
So
Kamala did have enough to make a difference because she had what,
yeah,
28
because she had
seats?
29 seats. Did
20,
she have 29?
I thought it was 28, but either
28.
way,
Okay, if she had 28, she could have had a two-thirds majority because it's 27 and 1/3. And if she could have had if she needed 3/5 of 41 is 24, right? So I think Dr. Mohammed may have said 31. I
he
think
said 31.
yeah, I think you're right, Albert. So 41 to Albert, I think you're right. 2 divided by 3 times 41. Yes, Albert, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. 3 divided by 5 times 41. Yes, Albert, you are full 100% correct. And that's what we like in the village, right? That's what we have in the village. You see, that's what that's what we just feel so good about this village, man. Think
Because
no past.
I started wondering why I was of the impression that she had a 2/3 majority.
Yeah, because she had it.
She did.
She had it. And if she wanted to make changes, she could have made changes.
That's right.
Right? So sometimes, the game we are 6 for 9 all the kind of time. And hey boy, look people could only talk what they just talk, boy. Talk are glad, boy. All right. Lana say, let me check and see if I have any special branch officers marking in the village tonight to inform Ketos.
Mhm. All of that.
Okay.
All of that. All of that. All of that.
Boy, yes, of course, folks, of course, it's always a pleasure. You know what I mean? We had Dr. Sheen for a short time tonight, but boy,
It was.
Mark
It
was
was.
tonight.
Yeah. It was. It was sure enough very, very informative.
Very informative. Mark Bus tonight. Tommy, any closing comments?
You know, I intended to say this. I'm going to say this is by um Orison Scott Martin. It says, we must give more in order to get more. It is the generous giving of ourselves that produces the generous harvest. I appreciate everybody being in the village here with us tonight. And I'd like everybody to be safe because it looks like it's getting more dangerous daily in Trinidad. So everybody out there, just be safe, mind your business. You don't have to drink water, but you sure enough need to mind your business. And be safe so that we can continue with our dialogue and with your participation in the next session. God bless. Love you all.
And this is a quote by Alan Moore. People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. Let me repeat that. People shouldn't be afraid of the government. Government should be afraid of the people. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all. I like to stay where I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. For every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Thank you so very kindly, folks. So, Ulrich, bye. Ulrich say, Ansem, I think you should have Dr. Mohammed once every week. Only think Dr. Mohammed, the man busy, you know. But Ulrich, yeah, he good. He good. He very good. He very, very good. You see, the Ulrich, and that is what it is there, Ulrich. We may have differences with people, but when they give you informative information, you know, we are giving them credit for that. Yeah? Albert says if Trinidadians stop bashing their opponents in politics and speak only about issues, we will improve. Full 100. Yep, full 100. Albert says, Ansem, I never come second in arithmetic. Always made 100% from Form 1 to Form 5. Yeah, but Albert, that's why we appreciate you as our resident expert here with respect to politics. We appreciate you, man. Right?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. And we appreciate that you heard something and immediately was corrected, because some people on other radio stations are saying things and don't even correct them. You understand? So we are happy, very happy that you were able to do that. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, that they verified the numbers.
Yep. Yeah. Ulrich closing comment is, if you allow yourself to be a mat, don't be vexed when people wipe their feet on your on you. Pleasant good night, everybody. Good night to you, Ulrich.
When he says we are all one people under the same sun. Peace, love to everyone.
Yeah, go ahead. Ulrich getting big, boy. Ulrich guest coming in the program and calling your name big. They call Lana. Oh God. The first commenting man with his Ulrich comment, yes.
That's right.
Oh God.
Nadia says, good night, everyone in the village. Stay safe until again we meet. It's a new day, a new week, new blessings for new opportunities. Or should I say opportunity? Well, yes.
Yeah, we will try to see if we could get Dr. Shane back on Thursday, because we don't want to overdo his time, you know. We're trying to get him back for short times, you know what I mean? Yeah, Judy says, agree. Albert Montano, Trinis like too much bashing and tearing down others. It is sad indeed. And that is true, eh? We had to stop tearing down each other, man.
You see, there's a time I was talking up to people about the Trinidad culture. You see, the way we developed is in a Zante society, meaning who want to show off that they're better than.
Yeah.
Think about our carnival culture. It's the same thing. I better than. I'm the monarch. I'm, never no camaraderie, or should I say, sharing at the same space in one accord. No, there's always that I have to outdo you.
Individualism as opposed to collectivism.
That's right. And in that way, we've tear down one in order to lift ourselves or to pick ourselves up higher than. And it's sad.
Yeah.
We have to learn. We have to relearn.
So, folks, we're gonna go out with this one tonight. We're gonna go out with Brian London tonight. Since what's new guys Jack hung, right? We gonna go out with No Trump tonight by Brian London.
Hang Jack on table one. It's all for us. Hang Jack. I get caught up in the USA. Want to come back home, but I had to stay in the USA. in the USA, boy. COVID-19 hit the world real hard, and I am not suffering bad in the USA. Which part? In the USA. All you know, yes, how hard the times is. So to make some cash, I decide to throw some all first classes. Well, I and all was in shock when I see the amount of people sign up. Even them big bourgeois and celebrities coming to learn all course from me. I start going through the rules, I taking my time to make sure none of my students get left behind. It's all course, boy, I'm teaching all course. How to shuffle and how to cut the pack. I taking my time going through that. It's all course, boy, I'm teaching all course. How much gas you dealing each player? I explain that to a team. But as I get down to explaining Trump, I was shocked, boy, with what I see. Boy, no matter how I explain the thing, it's only Trump card them people throwing. They're holding Trump. They want no Trump. No matter how I try to explain, Trump is the most powerful card in the game. They want no Trump. They are holding Trump. Snoop Dogg and all, he was in the class. He say, boy, look, don't play the ras. Shizzle and thistle, this Snoop Dogg ball. Boy, don't give me no Trump at all. They want no Trump. Boy, they don't want no Trump. Marker, time check on table 4.